Hello and welcome to another free SEO secrets for OnPage secrets with Josh Bashinsky. I just gave this proviso quickly to the folks in the Zoom here, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over on-page tactics. I'll just make sure that I'm muted here. There we go. If you're watching live on the TubeViews, please make sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends if they're looking to get into SEO. Today we're going to learn some very awesome stuff, and you're going to be well ahead in your SEO game for today's session. Today we're going to cover my software that I teach, which is SEO Copilot. We live in a very interesting time with AI being able to do a lot of the work that we used to do by hand. SEO University is the other thing I'll be talking a little bit about today. This is SEO University here. It's our Discord. This is our Discord chat. You can see we have SEO knowledge about any kind of possible thing you'd want to know in SEO. We also do YouTube secrets as well. We've reverse engineered and scientifically tested a ton of stuff in the SEO world. I'm just going to go here quickly and just mute everybody. If you want to unmute yourself to ask a question, by all means, please go ahead. I just muted everybody there. Yeah, we know it all. When there were certain leaks that came out like a few months ago, I don't know if you were watching, but Google accidentally leaked their entire API content warehouse. What was supposed to be a private repo was made public on GitHub. And so we got all of the ranking factors here, and there's a lot of them. There's 7,400 pages, 414 pages of this. And we went through the whole thing until our eyes bled. And SEO University, however, we knew pretty much all the secrets that were in there already, except for maybe 5 or 6 of them, which we tested. And we're like, wow, that's a ranking factor. I can't believe that commerciality, for example, is a ranking factor. What does that mean? Join SEO University. I'll be happy to go through it with you. And at the end, also, I forgot to mention at the end, as promised in the email, there is a gift for staying through the whole podcast. So make sure you stay to the end. Keep watching to the end, and I will offer you also a free gift. It is definitely worth it. Definitely worth your while to stick around to the end. It's going to be a very interesting session, and the gift is very, 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 very valuable. Another Google leak. So we have in SEO University, that's the think tank that came up with all the ideas for SEO Copilot. And we used to be taking like 100 hours per page for OnPage. Now we've gotten that down to like 20 minutes, 20 minutes to an hour. An hour if you want to do like a fully surgical, like that's the best SEO you could ever do. It takes an hour. And so now you might be like, whoop-de-doo, Josh. I've always been taking an hour to do my SEO. Okay, that's not sustainable for the future though. We have over 70 to 80 years experience in SEO. We make over $2 million a year doing SEO altogether, the people in SEO University. We are doing SEO as a career at the highest level. And we're telling you to be able to do that and sustain the SEO for like a Coca-Cola or something along those lines, it was taking like 100 hours per page. It was getting impossible. Is that a word? No. It was getting impossible to do the SEO per page. So we had to develop an AI, and we're glad that we did because the AI allows us to save so much time and money in automating SEO, saving 99% of the time and 99% of the costs associated with doing all the research for SEO, doing all the competitive research, to find the right keywords to rank for to begin with, and to find the boosting keywords, to find the things that our competitors are doing, and then to writing the page. The AI can write the page at a higher level of quality than a human can, or most humans can. It can make high quality human level content that is factual and saves you tremendously on costs and time. I know there's some agencies out there that are spending upwards of 10 grand per month on writers overseas. We can bring that cost down to $100, $200, $300 a month. or greatly reduce the amount of time those writers are taking, so we can bring it down to $1,000, $2,000 a month if you're still employing those folks, and they can crank out the same amount in 1,000 that they were doing for 10,000, and or they can crank out even more, and you can charge your clients more if you can crank out more pages that are higher quality, that do rank, that check all the boxes. You could charge your clients more as well. So if agencies can do this kind of extra business with our tool, just imagine what you can do. Another thing about SEO University here, I want to show you some of the wins, why you should be listening to us. We have a wins channel that shows all the wins that we have. I also have a public version of this you can see at bit.ly/SEO proof. But I just wanted to show you internally here that, we're not lying with bit.ly/SEO proof when we say we have all these wins. I'm just going to shamelessly brag and show you these wins. We have wins every single month of every single year for the last 11, 12 years that we've been in operation. So it really is a great group to be part of, very supportive group to learn SEO. And we do have a lot of knowledge. Shameless brag over. So another major leak that we're going to be talking about today, a major secret. Now you would have been, again, you'd have to pay $10,000 at some crazy conference like SEO Rockstars to learn something like this I'm about to tell you. This is the difference between click age probability and site quality. This was another leak from a very expensive conference in the UK. I asked this guy to come present for SEO University after he found this leak, and he says that'll be £7,000. So I'm like, okay, well, never mind. I think we get the gist on our own. But yeah, this is that's the kind of price tags that are associated with the kind of SEO knowledge that we are dealing with here. So I'm happy to be able to get with a ski on the end of my name, and with my Ukrainian Polish heritage. I'm very, very frugal. And I'm happy to be able to provide some of this, just some tantalizing opening secrets to you for free, for gratis, as the Latin might say. Justin says, "Thanks again for having me again, brother. I have my head of SEO, Rash, joining us today." Oh, no problem, Justin. Welcome, Justin. Welcome, Rash. If you guys have any questions, by all means, please put them in the chat there. I'd be happy to answer them. I give you a gold star. Thank you for listening. Thanks for interacting. That helps me teach better. Okay, so we're going to be going through the difference here, which is very important, between click age probability and site quality. That is probably the major factors in Google that we're going to be manipulating today. That is really, and I'll talk about it more later, but it really is the variance between your click age probability, which is a score like PageRank. It's a 0.01 to 0.99 score, just exactly as PageRank is, and your site quality, which is a page-based score and a site-based score, which again is another score from 0.01 to 0.99, like PageRank used to be and still is. Google likes to have those kinds of scorings. Anyone who's been in SEO for a long time will recognize the name site quality, and you've probably never heard of click age probability. However, that was a very secret leak that got leaked. But you recognize the scoring. This is the kind of scoring they like to do. So we're gonna be unveiling a lot of secrets today. So it's gonna be awesome. All right. So let's get to SEO Copilot. So why SEO Copilot? So again, SEO Copilot is again automating SEO. It's saving you thousands of hours and saving you thousands of dollars. And quite frankly, AI has changed the world. I think we've passed the point where people are using a pen to write pages. They're using a computer. That analogy I use for AI. I think we're past the point where we're going to be doing SEO by hand, or we're going to start really allowing the AI to do as much work as possible, and then we're just going to fine tune it later afterwards, put our little finishing touches on, which is great. And it's like having at least 4 employees working for you for free or for a very, very low cost. Doing SEO, and I use it myself. We'll actually be working on pages that I need to work on for customers today, so I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And you might also be like, okay, Josh, great. I see, okay, it saves me tons of money, tons of time. It makes totally factual, human level quality content. Sounds great. But what is this keyword discovery portion? I don't get the difference between keyword discovery and keyword spy. What's the difference? We're looking at our competitors in both cases. Isn't this the same step? And the answer is no. We've even gone further than most people consider to be on page, and we've kind of done the pre-on page phase for you as well. Now, again, I'm ancient. I've been doing this a very long time. I'm turning 50 in a week and a half. The big 50 in a week and a half or so. And back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, this was standard operating procedure for an SEO project. And anyone else who's been in SEO as long as I have will tell you, yeah, this is definitely true. We'd fire up Market Samurai or some kind of tool like that, and we would try to find what people call now the low-hanging fruit. We would try to find the searches that were your competitors were weak, and that you would have a better chance of ranking to get more wins faster for your client or for yourself. And people call this now finding the low-hanging fruit, but that kind of already precludes that the low-hanging fruit is going to be some kind of long-tail query. What's a long-tail query? A head term query has 1 or 2 words in it. A long-tail query has 3 or more words in it. So red apples would be a head term that people would search. You know, if they want red apples, whatever that is, red apples. Blue shirts, that's a head term. But what are the best blue shirts to buy in Canada because you're cold for 2025? That would be a long-tail query, right? Because it has 3 words or more in it. And you can also get the idea, like, okay, Josh, I get it. So the head terms are usually more transactional, and that's true. They're more about buying stuff. They're more about where the traffic is ready to purchase. And the long tail keywords, usually, sometimes they're ready to purchase, but they're more in the information gathering phase. You guys remember the old adage of the sales funnel that looks like this? So up here, they're trying to get information. More people bleed off, but they're trying to find the best information. Then they're trying to make a purchase there like that. That's the idea. I think over the decades, and it's been decades, Jesus. I think over the decades, people have thrown the baby out with the bathwater, and they're like, okay, I need to start trying to rank for these very long tail informational queries that absolutely no one is searching and makes absolutely no money. And just so I can say I got a win, and or just because this is the way to build up the website. And there's some truth to that. Which we're going to go over today, and you're going to have a ironclad method of building your site out today. That is for sure guaranteed to give you the highest statistical chance to boost your pages and rank your site. But it's also partly wrong, because if you think of it in terms of that way, that all the queries you're going to start going for, like some kind of long tail query, unlike all of these are more. Some of these are long tail because just by definition, they have more than 2 words. But you can see a lot of these are going to also make money, these kinds of keywords that I just have on my screen here right now. And that's where I think people in the last couple of decades have gone off the rails just a little bit, just a touch, in that the pages they're trying to build to start off with their website have no chance of making any money, and therefore and barely have any searches. So therefore, it's going to take way longer to rank. It's going to take more risk to rank and longer time to rank, because the clusters they're building, if you've heard of topical clusters, the informational hierarchy that they're building on their website, which is another buzzword or buzz phrase, the informational hierarchy they're building on their website might not be shoved over to the sales funnel, right? They're going to be more up here in the informational area. And we want to be more down here as close to the end of the sales funnel as possible, because this is where the money is. This is where people are going to spend money. And at the end of the day, we're trying to rank to make money, right? We're trying to rank to either make our client money, we're trying to rank to make our company make money, or we're trying to rank to make ourselves make money. And so we don't necessarily just want to go off of, okay, it's informational, so we'll start here. We want to be able to find the keywords, no matter where in the sales funnel they exist, that the traffic is high and ready to buy. And I don't mean high like they've taken some CBD gummies. I mean the traffic is immense. There's more traffic there, and also they're closer to the tail end of the sales funnel, and that's a very important place to start. And that's where we would always start any kind of SEO project. And so that's why we have an AI to help you do this. We scan through tens of thousands of keywords. In some cases, 1,800, 3,600, whatever, 4,600. We have 5,000 keywords here in some cases. 360 photo booth, Waco, Texas. And we could tell you on average how difficult it is, the top 80 queries, and on average, the revenue ballpark. And it's just a ballpark, it's just a rough guess, just to give you an apples to apples comparison between how much money, how much money would you get in, say, best food versus like some food queries here, versus how much you would make trying to rent out LED dance floors in Chicago, Illinois. You get a sense of the difference money between the two. And again, this is a revenue ballpark. This could be off as much as a factor by 100, but that's not the point. The point is just getting an idea of at least it makes some money. And so I will try to build up those keywords for my customer, for my client. So let's dive, if everyone's cool with that proviso, with that intro, let's dive in and let's look deeper into how this tool works. It's very simple. You start here with a keyword idea. Does anyone have any keywords you want me to do for you today? Any keywords or seed ideas that you want me to check? Any ideas that you're thinking of building a website on, or you're thinking of trying to rank for, and you're kind of curious how difficult it might be for SEO and or how much money it might make? Water softeners, perfect. Thank you, Justin. I give you a thumbs up. Water softeners, that's a great idea. Or Sebastian, hey Sebastian, is thinking about local SEO marketing. Yeah. So let's do water softeners here. Sebastian, I think in SEO University, I'm going to do a whole course on what you're asking, because trying to be an SEO is more than just about ranking. And so I think Sebastian is also a member of SEO University, I do believe, unless you're a different Sebastian, which I can't imagine that being the case, because what's the odds that there's two Sebastians in my orbit talking about doing local SEO? I mean, I guess it's possible, but I think in SEO University, I think I'm going to do a course there. Yeah, he says I'm in the university indeed. Awesome, good choice. I give you a sunglasses emoji. Yes, I think good. I'll do a bigger, deeper, in-depth course there, because there's going to be a lot to consider in becoming an SEO and trying to do local SEO marketing. Ranking is just the first step. Then you gotta think about how you're going to collect clients, charge your clients, all those kinds of things. I need to teach you. We have courses on that already, but I want to maybe dust those off and do it just because you're new in the group as well. Okay, but I will do water softeners. Thanks, Justin, for doing that. And SEO University, by the way, it's not just for SEOs. It's who want to do client work. We do every kind of SEO. Again, I've been in this industry for 30 years, and so have most of the people in the group who are our senior students. We've done everything from local to global rankings. We've done everything from trying to rank porn or adult niches, escorts, everything you can imagine like that, all the way to not-for-profits and ranking churches. We have done it all. We've done it all, been there, done that, seen it all across the board. So no matter what kind of SEO you're doing, it is worth it to join SEO University, and it is worth it to sign up here for SEO Copilot, because we can do all those kinds of SEO. All those kinds of SEO, including to some degree map pack SEO in SEO Copilot, because the page ranking factors also will affect your Google business profile, your GMB, your Google map pack rankings as well. Okay, so water softeners, what a great idea, Justin. It's running the difficulty scores right now. It's already run a bunch of them here, and I'll say, hey, run more. Go and use those credits. Right now we still have unlimited credits, guys. I've turned off the cap on credits, so you guys have unlimited credits right now. You have unlimited credits to run keyword difficulty reports, run keyword discovery reports, run keyword spy reports, build pages. I want to see you guys using the system like crazy. We did have to delete some data that was 3 months older. The database was getting over a terabyte in size, so we had to delete some data, but you have unlimited credits right now to add more pages in and check more stuff out. So it looks like there's some really good money behind water softener systems. And this is giving you some sense of maybe what you'd want to start your keywords with and what you would not want to start your keywords with. So has anybody ever, I don't know how many people here are doing in-house SEO. But I've done in-house SEO as well. I've done client SEO, consulting SEO. I've done all the above. Justin says, thanks for the unlimited credits, brother. No problem, man. It's been my pleasure. Because I was like, you know what? People are not using our system enough. They try one page on a new site, and maybe doing one page on a new site's not enough to get any good ranking traction, no matter how good our system is. Especially if they didn't follow these instructions and they tried to build on a tough niche to begin with. Maybe we should give them more credits so they can build 50 pages or 100 pages. And now it's a much more fair test of how good our system does. And that's also building your site up to have enough site weight to be able to compete, which is a very, very important thing that you're not going to hear anywhere else. There's another huge SEO secret I'm going to drop for you in a little bit, is that site weight matters, content velocity matters, not in the way the industry thinks it does. You need to have a big site. Otherwise, Google's not going to rank you. Why would they rank a 5-page site next to a 5,000-page site? Just think about it. They're not going to do it. Why would they do that? Why would they take a risk on a 5-page site? All things being equal, and many things being unequal, doesn't matter how many links you've made to the 5-page site. They're probably not going to rank it compared to a 5,000-page site. But anyway, I am jumping the gun. I'll get to that. So this is a great keyword. There's a lot of money here, obviously. Even if this is off by a factor of 10, making $7,500 a month on something like this is entirely possible. The query water softener system, I could easily see making probably even up to 75 grand a month. I've worked in keywords that made over $1 million a month when I was working for Cell Health, which is an affiliate network, and they sell things like herbal Viagra and weight loss pills and weight loss creams, boob creams, and all those kinds of herbal supplements. Herbal supplements, I'm sure can be very expensive and make a killing online. And there's no end to people who want herbal supplements. And so they make a lot of money. And so it's entirely, I've seen keywords can make this much money. I've seen keywords make this much money. For people who want a water softener system, hey, you could very easily make this kind of money, right? And so this is good, but this is also going to tell you, Justin says, I need to use it more. We are here. Why we are here again. Awesome. And he says they are high ticket. Yes, they're definitely high ticket, which is good. So that is just one check mark, which is good for you. Like SEO, the course SEO is just part of business. And so if you're like Josh, I want to rank for, I don't know, I want to rank for, I can't believe the digital marketing agency. Oh, in Traverse City, Michigan. You're like, okay, I want to rank for digital marketing agency in Traverse City, Michigan. How much money does this stuff make? Well, apparently not a lot, and there's not a lot of searches. And if you're like, Josh, I have two business ideas. One, I could try to be a digital marketing agency in Traverse City, Michigan, or two, I could, I don't know, maybe be affiliate for water softeners. Well, I'd say, I've got good news and I've got good news. I got a frequency of good news for one, and I've got a frequency of good news for the other. The frequency of good news for being a digital marketer in Traverse City, it's up 400% this year. That's interesting. Look at that. Everyone says SEO is dying. Every piece of data I have is to the contrary. Easy SEO is dying. Lazy SEO is dying. That's for sure. But SEO isn't dying by any stretch. If you look on Google Trends and put in search engine optimization, the line is still going up. More and more people are interested in working from home or interested in doing SEO. And so it's a great time to be in SEO. There's a ton of money to make because Google has done us the courtesy of taking all the lazy SEO and punting them out of the SERP, right? Punting them out of the SERP stands for SERP, the search engine result page, punching them out of the SERP and leaving these giant holes in their armor, like smog, with these giant holes that we can sneak in and we can make a tons of money, right? So thank you, Google, for doing that. Thank you, Google, for getting rid of our lazy competitors so that we smart people using an AI have a much better chance of ranking now. But if you're like, okay, well, I could be a digital marketer in Traverse City, Josh, or I could maybe try to be an affiliate for water softeners. Well, I got a frequency of good news for one and a frequency of good news for the other. It's all good news. This is up by many hundred percentage. So there's people looking for it. No one seems to be bidding on it in Google Ads, or my Google Ads API for some reason didn't get access to it. So that's no, it doesn't look so good. This is what looks worse. There's only 10 people searching per month on this. So let's say even if my number here is wrong, which it probably is, because someone's going to be paying for this, right? But even if my number here is wrong at the $0 it makes, it's not going to be a lot because there's only 10 people searching for it. But the good news is, however, it's pretty damn easy to rank for. If you look here at marketing consultant near me or digital marketing near me, it's 31% easier, right, than a lot of different these queries. Internet marketing, however, is very tough. Agency marketing digital is only 6% harder than the rest of the SEO. The average SEO keyword, the average SEO niche. And by the way, that's how the keyword difficulty works. We have millions of records in our database now of difficulty scores across the board. And so you're comparing your difficulties with everybody who uses the system. And so we have a very, very accurate and a very, very useful keyword difficulty score. And so when I say this is 6% harder than any average SEO keyword or any average SEO niche, you could take that to the bank. This number is only going to be like 1% off, up or down. Unlike the keyword revenue ballpark, this number can be as much as 100 times 100 off. I fully admit that, right? It's just a formula. How does the formula work? The formula works like this. The Google Economist has reported that the average ratio of earnings over tens of millions of users, the average ratio of earnings for the average Google Ads user is 1 to 2. So if they're bidding $6, they're making $12 on average. So we take that 1 to 2 ratio as our base. That again, there's science behind that, so we're not making it up. And then we're like, okay, if it's low, we'll make it 1 to 2. If it's medium, we'll make it 1 to 3 ratio. If it's high, we'll make it a 1 to 4 ratio. Then we take 30% of the average monthly search volume, because that's about what you'll get for ranking number 1 is 30%. Then we take 5% of that as a general conversion rate. If this number is sorry, excuse me 1 second. If this number is over 0%, then we raise the 5% by 57%. So that would be about a 6% conversion rate roughly of the 30% of this traffic that is making you 4 times this number is how we get to this number. So again, it's a rough approximate. I'm fully telling you guys, the keyword review ballpark is rough, but it's not that far off, right? You're not going to make nothing. I guarantee to you, if you rank for water softener system, you're not going to make nothing. You're going to make making tens of thousands of dollars a month. I guarantee you, and that's why it's not easy to rank for. That's why it's 38% harder than the average SEO niche. But isn't that interesting that it's only 38% harder? It's only 40% harder than an average SEO niche. Why is that? Because most of these people don't know how to do SEO. They don't have the EMQ in the title. They don't have the keywords in the page, in the URL. Their sites are barely focused on it, and their pages, this page is, these are good numbers here, 40%. Their pages are focused on it. There's a lot of big brand names here too. We got Home Depot, Reddit, we got a .gov, good luck getting rid of that one, Lowe's, Culligan. But Quora could be pumped out of here, Modernize could be pumped out of here, BHD could probably be punted out of here. This guy here just has a page dedicated to this. If we have a site dedicated to this, a site is always more powerful than a page, by the way. So if we had a site dedicated to water softener system, we might be able to pump this guy out here. So number 2 is open. So there are spots on this SERP that you can rank for this highly lucrative query, and it's not as difficult as you might have imagined it might be. And that's exactly how you use this tool. You look at the difficulty, you say, look, no one knows how to do SEO here. SEO 101, put your keyword in the key places, but you got to be really careful doing that these days because you could be over-optimized. And that's where my CP, my Copilot AI in the article builder will come in. We'll get to that at the end. So make sure you stick around to the end. But just as a general rule of thumb, these guys know how to do SEO. This guy knows how to do it here. This guy knows how to do it here, has some idea. The rest of these guys have no idea. They put in some other phrase, right? Maybe water softener systems or a system for softening your water. Maybe that's what they went with. Well, great. Now they've left this one open. They've dropped their left hand. They're ready for a right hook. Justin says affiliate time. Call Justin. Awesome. It's affiliate time. Yeah, definitely. You heard Justin here. Call Justin. Are you guys looking for affiliates? Or you're just joking around? If you're looking for, he says always. Awesome, great. Well, I might have to talk to you. This is an easier niche than I thought. I might have to talk to you. But no. I'll leave it open for all the students. I'm so busy. I'm so effing busy. I don't have time to take on another niche at the moment. But yeah, I'm trying to full-time run 2 companies right now and do client SEO. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm very busy at the moment. But the better my AI gets, the easier SEO gets, the more I can take on. So actually, within 4 to 6 months, I might be hitting you up. So anyway, what was my point back there? The point is, if it's, I know a lot of people getting into SEO, and this happens a lot. And even people doing in-house SEO, it's like, well, Josh, the world's my oyster. I just want to make money with this thing called SEO, quote unquote. I don't have any particular love affair for water softeners versus being a digital agency. I could make my money on any of these things. Then my answer is, holy shit, is that awesome? Holy shit, are you lucky? Because you don't have a client or a boss saying, no, we must rank water softeners and you must make these keywords to start off with on being a tough niche on our new site. We must rank for softener system, and I refuse to listen to you. We have to start with this and try to rank a keyword that's 72% harder than average SEO, where people, yeah, they're starting to learn how to do it, and their sites are getting more dedicated to it, and there's even more big brands here. I want you to knock off Home Depot and get number 1 here. Do you know how difficult that's going to be? Well, 72%, if not harder, right? That's going to be very, very tough. And so you definitely don't want to start with that, right? Which I'm going to get to in a bit. So if you could choose any niche you want, well, then this is the best tool you've ever found, because you could just keep plugging ideas in here, right? Just keep plugging ideas in here. Let me go back. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of work for a photo booth client, obviously, but there are other niches that you can get in here. Like, for example, just start putting in best product, put that in here. Do home services. You could do business services. Just start putting ideas in here of stuff that you know makes money. For example, crypto. You could just start jamming high-level ideas in here and just start to see what starts coming up, right? And the AI is going to take your idea and it's going to explode it to 62,000 more ideas, or 6,200, sorry, more ideas. And you're going to start seeing niches that make a whole hell of a lot of money, a whole ton of money. And then you can click on these and start seeing, okay, how tough is it to make this kind of money? You can also sort by keyword difficulty and go on the easier ones and look at some of the easy ones. Some of the easy ones also have a ton of money behind them. So if you're like, I'm not married to digital marketing, I'm not married to water softeners, I can make money anywhere. All right, well then do a lot more research at the high level of just throwing ideas in here and seeing what my tool comes up with for you. Mark says, could this be used on a software directory site? I mean, software directory site like Capterra, but for specific software categories? For sure, of course. Yeah, you definitely, and not only could it be used, it should be used for sure. That's a great question. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. I give you a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, for any page, you should do this for each and every ranking page. You should not be building a page without doing this first to see how difficult it is. You really shouldn't start a whole site until you check with this first to see how difficult it is, because that is going to not only tell you about your success or failure rate, that is going to tell you how you need to approach it from an SEO project perspective as well, which I'm about to get into. So this secret that I just dropped for you, again, you'd have to pay $10,000 at some crazy secret conference to get this kind of 30-year experience that I just mentioned. But it is take a moment to decide, what niche do I want to be in to begin with. I like working out. I wanted to just do a working out website because I'm into it, but I'm not married to it. I could do any kind of site, really. I just want to make as much money as possible with as little work as possible in SEO. And so my answer is, great, keep searching for another niche that doesn't look like this, that doesn't see I've not recommended and tough at the top. But when you sort it by difficulty, you still have keywords that make a good amount of money per month, but are easy to rank for because they're new or because Google kicked out the competition or whatever reason. We don't know. We don't know what the reason is, why. Or like, look how popular this is. This is up 3,000%. This is up 640%. It doesn't really matter the reason why, but Gen Z and millennials search differently than Gen X and boomers do. The search completion changes the keyword, making it different. People talking, doing voice search makes it different. And people blowing out your competition makes it different. So don't think that you know what keywords you want to go for before you do the keyword discovery process. For example, I had a chiropractor in Winnipeg, where I was born and raised, was like, I want to rank for chiropractor, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Chiropractor WPG MB. And I'm like, no, you don't. Maybe you don't. I checked the difficulty. It was super difficult. For some reason, it was super hard for some reason. I don't know why, but it was. It's like, you want to rank for best chiropractor Winnipeg or top 10 reasons you want to see a chiropractor in Winnipeg. That's where you need to start with your new site. And so that's a piece of advice. And why is that important? Because the name of the game is final return on investment, right? So again, if you forget anything else I say today, please remember this $10,000 secret, because it will save you so much time and so much money and so much heartache. Because I've been doing this for 30 years. I know more people that have dropped out of SEO and failed than I know who have succeeded. And this is the reason why. The general industry seems to think that SEO, philosophically speaking, Phil, I will talk about philosophy. Look at that. It won't be Ovid though, don't worry. The general SEO industry seems to think that SEO is properly lumped into marketing, that you should think of SEO, like organic marketing. It's inbound organic marketing, and you should think of it, you should lump those people in with the marketing team. That's kind of how you think of SEO and approach it from a project level. And that, in my 30 years of experience, I'm here to tell you, is mostly wrong. It's mostly wrong. It's the wrong way to think about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, it is, I guess, getting you traffic and getting people in there. So I guess it's part of marketing, but really SEO is properly thought of. It's not a marketing play. It's a business process play. That's what it is. And you need to have the highest amount of business process efficiency. That is the single most important SEO factor, is business process efficiency. For example, I'm going to say another very controversial thing. Who is the people who win at SEO? People will say, well, how do you win at SEO? Well, you rank number one. You rank number one for SEO. That's how you win at SEO, is ranking number one, right? Wrong. That's not how you win at SEO. You win at SEO by ranking number one faster, cheaper, easier, in a way you can repeat, that doesn't screw your site because you've done all these spammy, risky tactics and Google that are from 15 years ago, that Google catches you in 6 months. That's how you win at SEO. Do you want a career for 6 months and spend $2,000 a month and not get anywhere and lose that money and fail and have to go away with your tail tucked between your legs? Is that what you want? No, of course not. Of course, it's not what you want. And that's why it is so important. You need to judge everything you do in SEO by the final return on investment. It is the single most important ranking factor. It is the single most important consideration for SEO. When your client or your boss or the one side of your brain comes to the other side of your brain and says, hey, we should rank for coin market cap. Look how much money it makes. Even if this is off by a factor of 100, we'd love that money. We should definitely rank for it. Look how many people are searching for it. On our brand new site, our brand new 5-page site, let's make one of the pages this, we'll rank for sure. The answer is that's not the way to approach it. Yes, you can rank for this. You can rank for this, but you need to build your site up another way, right? And that takes into also consideration the final return on investment. This keyword, pound for pound, has a good return on investment only because it makes so much money. So yes, eventually we want to rank for this. But where we need to start on our brand new site is we need to start on keywords that are looking more like this, quite frankly, where they're easy to average. And so it is a much easier job to rank for these. And look, some of them still make money. This is better than just trying to rank for the keywords that are the easiest that make no money, for example. Like just picking this one that makes no money, or this one that makes no money, or these ones that make no money. It's better to have some actual money in there so that you're ranking for a keyword that is easy to rank for, but you're ranking for it sooner. And you ranked for it easier, spending less money per month to rank for it, and less time per month to rank for it. And you could use less risky tactics. All you have to do is build your site weight up to a certain amount and build the on page for this page in a certain way, and you will start ranking for it. You'll start getting page 1, page 2 rankings for this because it's so easy, probably without having to buy any external signals either. And there's more than just one external signal, by the way. If you're like, Josh, I know what you mean by external signals. You mean links, right? And nope. There is a portfolio of external signals you need. And links is links is by far not the only one. In fact, links is not even in the top 3 of the ranking factors anymore. That's so 2005. That's so 2000. That's so 1999 PageRank paper. That's not really how Google thinks about rankings anymore. The web has gone past links, obviously. There's other kinds of off-page signals you need. Again, stick around to the end for my offer to help you get that kind of information. Okay, so again, because final ROI is so important, and because it also has to just pound for pound, it's a race, right? And you need to spend less gasoline and go faster than all of your other competitors in this death match 2000, this Death Race 2000 or whatever that movie was called. In this Road Warrior movie, you need to have a more efficient engine than everybody else, or they're going to outcompete you, right? If they spend less money than you and get more rankings than you that make more money than you, they're going to outcompete you, and you're not going to be able to compete. Again, this is a way of looking at it from doing this for 30 years. No one else in the industry really talks about this, which is too bad, in my opinion, or not enough people anyway. In that it has nothing to do with ranking number 1. Ranking number 1 is not really how you think of SEO. You need to think of SEO ranking number 1 faster, easier, and cheaper in a way that's not going to ruin your rankings in 6 months because you did all of the tactics from 15 years ago that Google says not to do. And you're just going to lose that money and time anyway, and you have to go away with your tail tucked between your legs. Just consider, Reddit and Quora are filled with people who are winning in SEO, kind of. I mean, a bunch of them are liars anyway. But Reddit, when they say it's all easy, yeah, it's easy for you to say in Reddit. Who you're doing SEO for? Home Depot? Yeah, well, Home Depot is going to rank no matter what you do. So F you is what your answer should be. I work for the biggest shipping and trucking company in the world. well, yeah, your page is going to rank no matter what you do. So F off. Your advice is not helpful. Thanks very much, but go away. Like I said, I know more people who've failed at SEO than I know who've succeeded over the 30 years. And the reason is because they failed to appreciate that it's a race. In some cases, that race, the starter pistol for this Boston Marathon started 25 years ago, and some of your competitors have been accruing SEO signals for 20 to 25 years. And so the only way for you to catch up to them and beat them is to be more efficient. You have to be leaner. You have to choose your keywords very carefully that are the easiest to build for, so you get the best rankings fastest for cheapest, but also they also happen to make a little bit of money, as opposed to the low-hanging fruit philosophy, where you're just picking, this kind of keyword because it's super long and it's easy to rank for, or you don't know that, you're guessing it's easy to rank for because they don't bother checking, but it doesn't happen to make any money. So yeah, you can get your client ranking for this and say, hey, look, I got you ranking for analysis, Binance, Crypto.com, Coinbase, FTX, whatever the fuck that means. I got you ranking for this, client. Great. When's it going to make any money? When's it going to be paying for your SEO retainer fee that I'm paying per month? When is it going to pay for the servers, or what's it going to pay for your time you're doing SEO on your own? Never, apparently. No one searches it, or no one in the last 6 months searched it anyway. This is based on a 6-month increment. No one in the last 6 months searched for it, and nobody paid any money for it in the last 6 months. Okay, great. It's easy to rank for, and it is building up your site weight, but you need to build up your site weight with keywords that actually make money, because if you don't, you're not as efficient as people who do. Okay, so is that making sense, guys? Is that first part of this making sense? That this first $10,000 leak, you need to be more lean. You need to have better final return on investment. You need to have a better business process than your competitors, especially those people who have been already doing this for 20 to 25 years. If that part is making sense to people, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something in the chat. Justin says yes with an exclamation mark. Awesome. Thanks for listening. Thanks for interacting. I appreciate that. Sebastian says makes sense. Awesome. I'm glad that it does. I give you guys, I give you cool glasses, he said with his autism. And let me just check here quickly on the tube views. If there's anybody watching, there's only a couple people here. You guys, is that making sense to you guys? If you guys have any questions, let me know. SEO Manchester. That's another good one Dan mentioned here. You should join SEO University if you're not, because that course is going to be exactly for you as well, that I'm going to run on how to do SEO for local areas, how to be a digital marketer, or how to run an SEO company for these local areas. I see a lot of people wanting to get into that. Definitely join SEO University. Wait to the end, and I'll have a nice discount for you to join. Okay. Here is the other reason why you need to take this kind of philosophy I'm talking about, this methodology on. And it has nothing to do with the very important and very true business process truth I just mentioned, that is golden and will literally save or make or break your business, that I just told you. And it has everything to do with the interplay between click age probability and site quality. So remember, I promised I would get back to this, so here we go. So click age probability is the probability of traffic finding your page helpful and staying on the site, and you terminating the search. Terminating the search is the most important part, and it's a guess that Google makes, Google's AI makes, and that AI is probably RankBrain. There are three. Here's another leak that you won't really hear anywhere else. Another $10,000 leak. You only hear at some kind of crazy SEO conference, some kind of secret conference. And some of these conferences make you sign NDAs, by the way. I've literally been to conferences that make you sign NDAs, or I've literally made people sign NDAs when I'm presenting at conferences. That's how important some of this knowledge is. All the good SEO happens in private secret groups. All the public SEO is kind of crap SEO. All the good SEO happens in private secret groups. And I'm hoping some of the stuff I've been dropping on you today, you're like, wow, this is true. I hope you can see that that's true by all the stuff I've mentioned and the stuff I will also continue to mention. So there's three main AIs for Google ranking. There's only three main AIs. It comes down to the holy trinity of ranking, right? Like the good Catholic schoolboy I am. It breaks down to three AIs, and that is RankBrain. If you're like, Josh, I've never heard of RankBrain. Is that true? Yes, it is. RankBrain is Google's major ranking AI. It ranks pages more. What does RankBrain do? As the AI tells us here, it is indeed a machine learning system used by Google to better understand search queries and deliver more relevant search results by analyzing the meaning behind words and phrases, particularly for complex or uncommon queries. It has been Google's main ranking system for the long time. It indexes pages more and ranks pages higher. The better RankBrain, and this is the score that it produces, the click age probability. It looks at your page and gives you a score based on its quality rater guidelines, its helpful content guidelines, and its EAT guidelines, the experience, expertise, authority, and trust, and determines if the meaning of the words you're using or the meaning of the phrase that they've searched and the way you've set up your page, the structure of your page, the content of your page, and a few other things that we'll get to in SEO University is good enough to give you a score to try you out. Have you ever noticed your search console? So I'm going to show you an actual search console, a real search console of an actual client of mine that is actually I used SEO Copilot on. So in the last 12 year, I've gotten him 2.6 million impressions. 2.6 million people saw his site. He gets a very good click-through rate actually on average. 4.4% is actually quite good. And 116,000 people click through. And you see there's been a boost here and a big jump up here as well. If we look here at, this is the section that has the SEO Copilot. So you see his rankings going up here. You see everything going up. Have you ever noticed this in your search console? There's these dots like this, where you have a dot here and a dot here and a dot here. And then you have a break. Like you have slash, and then you have a slash, then you have a break. Then you have another thing like this. You have a break. Then you have another thing like this. Then you have like a dash like this. You have another dash like this. That is RankBrain. That is RankBrain, and your click age probability is too low. Your on-page SEO is not good enough, right? You need to do better on-page and on-site SEO. You need to have a bigger website with more trust, more pages, more site weight, and you need to have a better content velocity than everybody else. It is actually a positive ranking factor to have a content velocity. Everybody in the SEO industry thinks that content velocity is a deranking factor. If anything, they think either it doesn't matter or it's a deranking factor. But they're wrong. So here's another $10,000 secret. The rest of the SEO industry is sadly wrong, and I know why they are. Because they add 1,000 pages of just shit AI content, and they try to get it indexed, and then their site tanks, and they're like, see, if you try to index all your pages at once, it's a deranking factor. So therefore, content velocity is a deranking factor. You need to trickle them. Wrong. That's just terrible science. That's awful science. That is not a single variable test. They're testing multiple factors there. They use the dirtiest, worst method of generating the lowest common denominator kind of content on keywords that nobody was searching or cares about, and they don't get it ranking anywhere. Well, yeah, of course not. You didn't do any planning. You didn't tailor your page to what something actually cares about, one. Two, you used the most bargain basement way of generating shit content, and then you put it into Google, into your sitemap, and then you index the sitemap, and then Google went and tried to index these pages, and you destroyed your site quality score because your click age probability went down, and they're like, this is all terrible content. We're going to try some traffic, or the click age probability is too low. RankBrain is predicting that you're not a good ranking candidate, and so you just, because of the low quality content and because of the mismatch of content to what nobody cares about, and therefore it's not going to rank anywhere. It's not going to be tried out. and it is quality per page as a ratio, right? If you have 1,000 pages and 800 of them are shit, then the other 200 pages are going to rank like shit. There is a certain threshold on your site, and here's another $10,000 tip. There is a certain threshold on your site where the site quality score is going to tank, and you're going to get what seems like one of these spam demotions, or one of these one of these quality demotions, or one of these helpful content demotions. So that's how RankBrain works. They predict the likelihood that people are going to find the click age of your page will be good. What does click age means? Click age is also coming from this leak here that was called the short click versus the long click. Where's if I can find it here? Short name, short click. Do they spell it all in one? Short click like this? Or is it short click like this? There it is. So short click versus long click. You see, they do track clicks. Surprise. There's another $10,000 secret. They do track clicks. People say that spam is not a ranking factor. Wrong. Do you know how many times they mention the word spam in here? Client spamminess, spam score, spam brain. There's the third of the, there's the second of the triumvirate I'm going to mention in a second. Spam brain, the spam brain score. Rank brain is the first part that indexes you and ranks you higher. Again, by predicting your click age probability. And then when users, it's a machine learning algorithm, it watches clicks. And when users say, yep, this is good, then they give you a good site quality, and the whole site gets a check mark, and you keep going. We also know it's a per page factor as well for clicks. It's both per page and per site. We know that from our reverse engineering. 66666. It's the SEO of the devil. Spam brain de-indexes you more and de-ranks you more. It's what is happening to your site when your search console looks like this. This is what happens to your site when rank brain is happy and spam brain can't find anything spammy or wrong, and you're building up on the low keywords like this. You're building up 10 pages a month, 50 pages a month, and the rankings climb like this. They try you out. Look at the average CTR here. See how high the CTR is, the green? They try you out. You get CTR rates like 25%, 20%. They're like, oh, look, this is good. This is the kind of rates we want. And so then it stops from being these dots and it goes into this jagged line here. That's how you need to do your ranking, especially on a new site or a site that doesn't index very well. And I'll get more into that later. And so click age refers to the age of the clicks. And by that, they mean long click or short click. We only knew that because of this API leak here as well. We knew that short click and long click is something that they track in here. So spam brain is the second one. The final one is snippet brain. I think do they say it in here, snippet brain like this? Did I misspell it? It's like this. Can't remember if they say it in here. I'm not sure if they do. Snippet brain, snippet info. They they have snippet filters. Can't remember if they mention it by name in here, but snippet brain is definitely the third of the ranking factors. It is the thing that after Google is a two-sort system. So when you do a search, in Google, let me do whatever, poo. Let me search for poo. When you do a search in Google, all these pages, the shard collection comes back. It's called a shard collection. No pun intended, linking to the word poo. The shard collection is a computer science term, and 1,000 results come back. That's sort number one, and then sort number two, and that's based on rank brain and spam brain. Sort number two is based on snippet brain, and they decide what the titles are going to use, what descriptions they're going to use, if they're going to put here a knowledge panel product, the AI overview, which has replaced the featured snippet. The snippet brain decides all that kind of stuff. So those are the three, the holy trinity of ranking factors, the holy trinity of AIs you need to please, that you need to assuage, that you have high quality content. How do you do that? How do you get them to trust you that you have high quality content? Because consider it, it's a very risky proposition for Google to take a chance on you. And it's even more risky for them to take a chance on a 5-page website that started a week ago as compared to a 10,000 page website that's been around for 10 years. If you had to make that choice, being honest, which one would you lean towards? Probably. All other things being equal, obviously, you would choose the site that's tried, tested, and true, that had click age probabilities that looked decent. So you chanced them traffic when it looked like this, and then you found that it was good. And so their site quality score kept increasing and their rankings kept increasing. That's it. That's how it's supposed to look. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how Google works, right? That's how RankBrain works. And that's the model we built for you in Keyword Spy, which I'll get to in a second. So you're like, okay, Josh, great. I get it. Yes, obviously everybody knows a 5-page brand new site is going to have trouble ranking for super difficult keywords, and it's going to be super difficult for Google to take a chance on you. Even if you do get the page indexed, you'll rank on like page 4 or something, and then you'll either drop to page 7 or you'll just stay at page 4. You need to build up a site starting with ultimately the best final return on investment. So if you have an average, or if you have an average, like average or easy keyword that makes a lot of money, great. You should be maybe going for it. All things being equal. Again, that's maybe a terrible example for cryptocurrency, because these people know how to do the SEO, and clearly it's going to have a lot of huge giant brands here. But at the same time, and these are all giant brands, so maybe you're not going to be able to rank for cryptocurrency. That's for damn sure. No matter how easy it says it is, because okay, this is a crawl error. Look, you're getting 0. Here's another pro tip for the tool. Our tool is very good, but we rely on external APIs. We have to. Every SEO tool does, and this was a mistake. Look at all the zeros here. These pages and sites are highly dedicated to this. So you can be like, oh, look at this anomaly. Never mind. I'll just hide this. This is obviously wrong. But you want to check these out and be like, okay, oh yeah, this one broke too. That one broke. Never mind. But you're never going to rank for that to begin with. It doesn't really matter. It's quite frankly these ones here that are more important, especially if you're starting out. You sort it by easy difficulty, and you start building from the easiest up. And if you happen to come across a keyword that makes a lot of money and will get you more money sooner, faster, better, then that is satisfying also the first requirement of making sure your business process is more efficient than everybody else. So how do you get a growth rate like this? And how do you make your site rankings look like this? And how do you take your site rankings from this and make it look like this? What you need to do, and how do you stay in the business for longer than 6 months? What you need to do is you need to do keyword discovery reports. You need to run the keyword difficulties. You should run as many keyword difficulties as possible to find as many pages as possible to build on. And if you're brand new, or let me put it this way, it doesn't matter how old the site is. If it takes longer than 24 hours to see an on-page change, or if it takes longer after indexation, or if it takes longer than 24 hours to get a page indexed and ranking anywhere in Google, like page 2, 3, or 4, or 5, if that takes longer than 24 hours, you do not have the site trust. You do not have the site quality, and your click age probability is too low. What that means is you need to build up on slam dunk easy keywords. You need to write, apparently no one has written a very good page right now about what this means. Again, this also might be a bad example because this one here is for Polymarket apparently. There's only this guy you could knock off. Coinbase you could knock off, and EquityZen you could knock off. These are the only positions on this SERP that are really open for you, unless Polymarket goes out of business or really does something dumb, which happens. But it's still a good keyword to build for. Why? Because it's going to be a slam dunk, right? We take a carpet bombing approach where we don't do surgical SEO. I mean, we do. I do a lot of surgical SEO. I take up to an hour per page. That's how long it takes to do every single trick for on-page ranking factors. Takes an hour per page with the AI. It would take me 100 hours per page without it. But it takes me an hour per page with the AI to do every single on-page ranking factor trick that I know, which, again, I'm not bragging. I don't mean to sound arrogant when I say this, but because we've been testing this scientifically for 11 years, is I guarantee to you far more than everybody else knows, and people who are not in our group knows. There are amazing ranking factors that we found that we could never have imagined Google would have used as a ranking factor. We have been very, very successful in our scientific program to find ranking factors. That's probably because, and again, I'm not bragging at all. I'm just being earnest. I'm being forthright. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am on the autism spectrum. So I just say blunt things. So again, please don't take this that I'm like bragging or anything, or I'm being arrogant. We've done a lot of testing, the reason maybe why our group is so good at it is because I studied science at the academic level. I've done a master's degree and I was doing a PhD in a science-related interdisciplinary discipline of neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy. Ask Phil. He'll tell you it's true. He'll tell you I'm as pedantic as it sounds. So maybe that's why we know more ranking factors than any other group does, and that's why we keep it secret. But anyway, whether that's true or not, I'll let you decide when you join. I apologize if I sound arrogant. I don't mean to sound arrogant at all, but I am passionate about SEO. I am passionate about telling the truth about it, and I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So all you're going to get from me is my unvarnished opinion. If that's refreshing, if you find that refreshing, someone's unvarnished opinion without any kind of agenda, then that'd be great. And if you're like, Josh, don't you have an agenda? The answer is, okay, yes, I have an agenda, but here's my secret business agenda. Are you ready? I'm about to tell you my agenda. I want you to rank well. Bum, bum, bum. I want to help you rank so that you pay for the tool and keep paying for it. And I want to help you rank so that you pay for SEO University and you stay in there. And then if you rank, then I get to get paid. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's a partnership between you and me. That's my secret. Now my secret is out, my dastardly secret. One, I like to wear lederhosen and sing off key, as Monty Python said. Two, I like to help you rank, and so you make money, and so you see value in my SEO consulting, my advice, my mentorship group, and in my software, and you keep paying for it. Da-da-da, surprise! Okay, there's my agenda. So now that everything's on the table, back to the important stuff. So you need to match the site weight of your competitors. You need to have a good amount of content velocity of high quality pages. You do not want to add 1,000 pages to your site in a month of low quality content. You definitely need to add high quality content that has the click age probability, which is going to force RankBrain to try your site out and then give you a good site quality score. So it has to be quality content that is going to actually satisfy the query intent, which we'll talk a lot about in a little bit. And you need to build it up faster, cheaper, better than everybody else. Because again, your 5,000 page competitor is adding 1,000 pages a month or whatever it is. And hopefully it might be high quality. If they're using my tool, it is. If they're using some other tool, then it's not. So good for you. You have a chance to get an advantage over them. But they might have already been doing this for 5 years and have accrued quite the site quality score, or quite the trust score, if you will. There is no trust score that we found in any of the Google leaks, but there is a site quality score. And the way you do that is by sorting by final return on investment to start. And if it happens to be easy, which sometimes it is, guys. I can't remember which one it is here. I know one of these has a bunch of easies at the beginning. I can't remember which one it is. Well, this one has some averages, which would be good to start off with. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is, but if it looks like this, you don't want to start with the very tough or the not recommended. You want to start, if you can avoid it, you don't want to go for that job interview before you're ready, right? Think of it like a job interview, and you want to go, or think of it like a video game, or think of it like a UFC career. You don't want to fight the top guy right away, and they won't let you fight the top guy right away. You need to work your way up, beating easier opponents and getting that trust in Dana White. Dana White is rank brain in this metaphor. You need to get them to trust you that you're going to put on a good fight, or that they can trust you that the content you're going to make is going to be worth risking all that time and money on. And that is the only way you're going to be able to change your Search Console from looking like this to looking like this. You need to build up content. You need to build it up fast. And you need to start to appreciate and get to around the level of the site weight. That's W-E-I-G-H-T, the site weight of your competitors. Because then and only then are you a considerable site that clearly can produce high quality content at pace, and it's content that users like and is answering their questions, and it is doing what you promised you would do. You promised you'd have a good answer to Polymarket Cap Crypto. They went there, they learned about it, they clicked around your site, they maybe even took some other actions. You could just imagine what would be good, maybe a bookmark, maybe they saved it, maybe they did something else, maybe they shared you on social, I don't know, just spitballing. And more importantly, they did not bounce back to Google SERP, and they didn't click some other result, and that result satisfied them and terminated the search. So there's some major ranking factors in there that I just mentioned. Again, join SEO University to learn A, what they are, and B, how to manipulate them. How to make sure that you are the one that's terminating the search. Okay, so let's say, so is that making sense to everybody? I hope that makes sense. So both the way Google needs you to build up your site to get this kind of appreciable growth, reliable, appreciable growth like this, and there's a total Google thing. It's all about Google. It's all about packaging the information in a way that Google trusts you, and you're doing the easiest stuff to begin with, where you can make it an easy slam dunk. Apparently no one's got a good answer to this. Apparently no one's got a good answer to this, because if they did, they would have optimized for it. No one has a good answer to this. Look how crappy they are. Look how their site and pages are not dedicated to this topic. So you can make a site and a page much more dedicated to it and give a much more clear answer for Google and be a much more reliable bet. And that's what the click age probability is. It's the bet. Google's betting on you. It's a gamble. Google's gambling that this page they try from your site is going to answer the question. They take that very seriously, right? They're giving you their users, and they get lambasted online when Google search results are even vaguely not great, which if you think about it is kind of rich, right? The whole world is like, come on, Google, can't you get this right? And I would say the same thing, because they're a private for-profit company, so that does many bad things in the world that I won't talk about, and I won't get on my soapbox and talk about. So I don't feel that bad by critiquing them, but it's like, do you know how much trouble and time they spend and money they spend to make the search results as high quality as possible? They take it very, very seriously. They take it very seriously. So think about it. When you make a page, it's got to be good. It's got to be a good page. But luckily, my AI can help you do that. Take 20 hours of work and bring it down into 20 minutes for you. Okay, so is that making sense to everybody? Give me a yes or a thumbs up if that's making sense. Or if you have any questions, please, by all means, fire any questions in there. It's both business process requires you to build more efficiently than your competitors, and Google requires you to make them trust you by building up on easier keywords to begin with. And if they happen to have money behind them, so much the better. If you can sort it by final ROI and just start building for these, great. But if you're like, Josh, I have a new site or I have a sick site, obviously my site quality score isn't good enough because Google doesn't trust my page. Whenever I index a page, it doesn't rank for a week, and it ranks on page 4 at best. Okay, that means your click age probabilities on that page in particular, and all your pages in general, are not high enough. We need to redo your OnPage. And 2, once we redo your OnPage and we go for the keywords that are easiest, and or we change your OnPage that they're going to try you out more, then you're going to get a more appreciable quality score, and then you're going to see Search Console results that look like this are going to change into this. Justin says 100%. Awesome. Thank you very much, Justin. Sebastian gives me a thumbs up. I see your thumbs up and I raise you a thumbs up, Sebastian. Perfect. Thanks. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for watching. Okay. All right. So here's another question that people ask at this point. All right, Josh, great. Okay, I hear you. For business process, duh, obviously, yeah. More efficient businesses have a much higher chance of success. Of course. I mean, that's business 101. We know this. Gotcha, Josh. Thanks for the reminder. Great reminder. And yeah, great. I didn't know that, Josh. Wow, content velocity is a positive ranking factor if and only if it's high quality content, because that shows you have more money and more seriousness behind you. And that was a leak we found here that's directly out of this, right? That's directly out of this API leak documentation. We already kind of suspected it, but we didn't know. But that documentative evidence proved it for us. Great. Okay. And yeah, it makes sense. If I do the easier keywords and build them up, Google will trust me. And I'm making money on these sooner, faster than later, sooner and faster rather than later. That is just going to increase my efficiency and my chances of my client continuing to hire me, because now he can pay for my monthly fee by the money I've made him here by this. Just hypothetically speaking, I don't know how good these keywords are. They might be terrible examples. But I'm just looking at these two scores just to explain what I'm talking about here. And yeah, okay, great, got it. But how many pages do I need to make? Now, I mentioned before, you need to kind of match what your competitors are doing. How do I know exactly how many pages I need to make? Well, here's one way to test. Take this Polymarket Crypto, or just click View SERP here, and look and go, okay, how many pages would I need? Coinbase is the competitor here that you really need to compete against. Coinbase is the only one you could possibly knock off here. Okay, so let's take this Coinbase page here. This is some kind of rating site. Great. You could do what they're kind of doing. You can kind of just eyeball this. And how many pages do I need to compete with for this? Well, given that Polymarket is a crypto thing, we could do this. Let's take this and let's search their whole site for Polymarket. How many pages on Polymarket do they have? Well, it looks like they have a lot of pages here, 60. It looks like they got about 60 pages with another 60 omitted by Snippet Brain. So it looks like we've got a good 120 pages, or 70 pages actually. Click to the end. We have 70 pages that are on Polymarket or close to around Polymarket on this site. So that's how we would tell on this specific client, for this specific competitor rather, for this specific semantic or meaning or topic or keyword, how many pages we would need to compete with them. So that was a really interesting tip. And again, no one's going to show you that anywhere. And that's specific for actually this keyword specifically. Let's look at a better one. Let's look at tectonic crypto news. Let's actually find a keyword here that you could actually go for. What is this Bybit crypto? Again, that's a name brand. You could do the same thing for this one here. Let's find one, Werix News. Okay, so we have Werix blog here, but we have a whole bunch of other sites. Okay, this keyword's wide open. You could have a news site on this too, if you want to rank for this keyword. No one is really ranking for this very well. You can make a site dedicated to Werix News if you wanted and have a leg up on all these pages. Okay, so then how much do I need for this one? Well, let me take this one here. Let me go to my Chrome here and let me search this. Let me do a search. Put this in here. Boom, boom. And I'll use my SEO Quake plugin, and I'll wait for it to populate here. Okay, so when it comes down to pages, in terms of Bing thinks this has 347,000 pages, a million pages, 13,000 pages. You're like, Jesus, Josh, that's really high. 329 pages. Okay, the Economic Times goes as low as 329 pages, 7 million pages, 80,000 pages, 49,000 pages. So again, if that number didn't scare you and warn you off of maybe doing that page, It depends if you're doing surgical SEO. If you're doing surgical SEO, I would have gone to this level and I've been like, okay, never mind, I'm not going to build on this. If you're doing carpet bombing, so that's surgical SEO. That is the most in-depth SEO that takes the longest time but has the highest chance of success. You've heard of the term spray and pray. Spray and pray is the least amount of work per page. You're building content and you're spraying it. You're building thousands of pages of content and you're spraying it and you're praying that you get any kind of rankings at all. And you're just throwing it at the wall and see what sticks. I wouldn't have gone to this level if that was the case. I just would have done a keyword search report, said build all this to the AI, and it would have built it. We like being here in the middle, which we call targeted carpet bombing. So we are building multiple pages quickly. We're building 50 to 100 pages a month to quickly be able to compete with a competitor that has like 300, 400 pages. And get kind of an appreciable, a kind of comparable site weight. But we're only spending 20 minutes per page. And I wouldn't have gone down to this level to try to see these other things. Or if I did, it would only be to have an idea of how many pages I need to build. Okay, the lowest one is 329. I'll do that. But let me just take the economic times here. And let's go, fascinating. Let's go to site colon here. Let's go to, what was it? Oops, I didn't, what is it? Warx News. Let's see how much this site actually has this information, actually indexed in Google. Let's go down here. Now my G Infinity is firing up. Okay, so actually 50 pages with another 44 omitted by Snippet Brain. Let's go down to the very end. I'd say, oh, okay, 50 pages. Roughly 50 pages on this is all I need to compete with this guy and knock him out of the SERP and be the one there that gets this traffic. Okay, great. And then any more I build is a chance that I'm able to start knocking the rest of these guys off that we see here that have thousands and thousands of pages. But at least it gives you a sense of the smallest number you would need. So that tells me, right? Or I can just do something general like this. If it's like the whole thing's on crypto, what do I need to start appreciably ranking for crypto style queries? Like the keyword crypto. What kind of sites are ranking for crypto in general? Okay, well, let's view the SERP. Let's go here, take this. Again, go here. Let's just generally see who's ranking for this. Get a general idea of how big these sites are. 418,000, ignore Wikipedia. Kaspersky, 15,000, 8 million, 7 million, 20 million. I mean, look at some of the size of these sites, right? Okay. So you're getting a sense, all right, well, you know, to start to appreciate these kinds of queries, we're going to have to start getting a fairly large site. Now we're getting more reasonable. 10,000, 20 million. What's the first one that's low? 6,000. Here's maybe one. This is starting to give you a sight of the general of how big your site needs to be in general. Okay, here's a 404 pages. So you're like, okay, well, as low as that, I could start getting in here. Now, of course, site size, and let's actually take out all the Canadian crap in here. Let me go down on this. Let me go down to like page 4 or 5. What does 4 or 5 say? Like spot 40, spot 41, CoinGecko. What does CoinGecko say if it ever shows up? $3 million, yeah. I mean, that 8,000 for that. These are the kinds of, 8,000, 5,000 pages you're going to have along those lines there, right? It's starting to give you a sense of maybe what you're going to have to deal with for this particular kind of thing. You can also click on this one and go, okay, investing.com, crypto. How many pages they actually have in Google? Crack open your drink. This keeps going and going. Well, they've got a lot on crypto. There's going to be big sites here you need to deal with. $18 pages, 22 pages. And this is not all of them. This is giving you a rough idea of what's indexed. 300 pages. Yeah. 340, 360. Yeah, okay. So 360 pages. That's the actual number. That's why I don't use the Bing number. This is the number from Bing. This is the actual number of kind of where you'll need to be. You're going to need a good chunky site if you want to rank for this. But of course, I chose a giant keyword, right? It's not going to be anywhere near as big for most of your niches you're trying to rank for. Crypto, of course, as you know, is a giant keyword. You would obviously be trying, crypto is the main idea, and there's some sub ideas. You would be trying to pick off an idea like this to try to rank for, obviously. You're not going to, or you'd be very ambitious to go for this to start. Anyway. Okay, so I would use that site colon trick, and I would check out. Okay, well, let's look at the general overview of the niche, and let's see what kind of people have there for this kind of thing. And you would be checking the specific keywords here, of these particular ideas of whatever they are, to get a general sense of the high and the low. You want to break it down to the high and the low. Like, okay, well, for this poly market idea or crypto, this Bybit idea, okay, I only needed like 50 pages. And then for the whole general site, I'm going to need at least 300, if not more. So you get a sense of how many pages you need to produce, how long it's going to take in general. Again, site weight is not the only ranking factor, but it is one of the major ranking factors. And can Google sometimes rank like a 50-page site or a 100-page site among thousands of pages? Because you have a better answer? Yes. And because you're hot or looking good because of some other signals? Yes, it can. I could show you how. That will give you a huge competitive advantage. But at the end of the day, if you need to make weight, if you need to get within, 240 pounds, you need to get into 240 pounds. And that's just the way that it is. Only the tricks and the putting lead in your boots or whatever is only going to help you so much, so to speak. So that's how you tell about kind of how many pages you need to make. And that tells you about how aggressive you need to be in building pages. And you're like, okay, Josh, then how do we build these pages? Well, now we're moving out of keyword discovery and all that kind of work you do at the beginning, which is very, very important work. And now we move into what people think OnPage is, or all that OnPage is. And they think it's about looking at your competitors, spying on your competitors, and finding the boosting OnPage keywords. And I've got good news and bad news. Or I've got a spectrum of good news and a different spectrum of good news. The good news is that my AI does this for you completely. And that you pretty much don't have to worry about, in 95% of cases, you don't need to worry about any of the stuff that it found, quite frankly. The AI will find all that for you. It'll analyze tens of thousands of lines of code and rebuild you BERT models, rank brain models, TW-BERT, vector embedded models that are going to help you find the boosting keywords and the boosting HTML that is going to boost you. And then after you run a keyword spy report, all you have to do is build the article after that. So how do you do that? Well, it's very easily. You click here on keyword spy and you put in the keyword. If you're like, okay, I want to rank for this. Okay, great. Then you put this in here and you give it a location. Pro tip, I like to choose the location of Tuvalu, the small island nation of Tuvalu, because It has only a few people ranking for it. Sorry, only a few people who make Google searches with it. So it's going to strip out a lot. It's going to strip out all the personalization. It's going to strip out a lot of geolocation as well. If I chose United States, some people ranking there are going to be ranking there because they said the word United States, or they have United States related entity information, NAP, for example, name, address, and phone number. If I choose Tuvalu, the only people ranking there are going to be people are just there more because of their on-page factors. And you say go. You can also do this from keyword discovery very easily. You just click one here that you want to build for. You're like, okay, I want to rank for crypto bubble, and I say find boosting keywords. I'll do the same thing, Tuvalu. Leave all the other settings the same. I'm removing these options pretty soon because they all work great, so there's no reason to remove any of them. That was just during testing. And click continue. And then it'll pop up and say, okay, great, we're running a keyword spy report on this. To see the reports, you can click here on reports. And you see that they're running. You can also see if you built an article here for them and what the general scores are for the article. Now, so do I have to spend many hours looking at my competitors and trying to see what they do for their H1 and what I should do for my H1, and trying to see what they should do, what they did in their title and what I should do in my title, and what kind of schema they use? Should I do all that? The answer is no. No, I've saved you from that 20 hours of work, and quite frankly, 50-50 guessing. A lot of mistakes happen in the keyword competitor research phase, right? Just because your competitors are doing it does not mean you should do it. It's the age-old argument, if your friends jumped off a bridge, should you? The answer is no. Because, and here's another secret that you have to pay $10,000 to go to some crazy conference to hear behind closed doors, is that here's the sad truth, is that if you look at your competitors here, for a keyword like this, for example, for crypto news, a bunch of people are ranking here because of factors that have nothing to do with their on-page and has much more to do with the fact that they're the BBC or the White House. Or even if they're ranking because of their on-page, they've also made tons of mistakes on their on-page. They probably made 60% good moves, which you may or may not be able to eyeball after 20 hours of painstaking work. And they made 40% bad moves because everyone in the SEO industry from 15 years ago told them to do it, and they're still reading articles from 15 years ago. And you're going to copy those mistakes too. So, I mean, it's a slam dunk. I mean, it's so obvious. Not only is the AI doing here the right things for you, because I have statistically proven, both using with Keyword Spy and using SEO Copilot, to do massive statistical data correlative analyses to show you exactly where all your scores need to be to guarantee number one rankings. I have also single variable tested behind the scenes in SEO University. I have reverse engineered the ranking factors for OnPage, and I do all that work for you. This is what used to take my students in SEO University and myself like 100 hours per page, and we realized this is just not feasible. Pound for pound, we cannot compete if we were taking 100 hours per page. And that's how long it took to do real great SEO that was 90% helping you and not also incorporating the mistakes of our competitors. And also think about it this way. If you're incorporating the mistakes of your competitors, great, then you're on an even playing field with them. And some people are like, yeah, Josh, I should look at my competitors and I should use this tool like Quora. And again, no offense to Ted. I love Ted. Ted's a great guy. And Quora is a very amazing piece of software. But it tells you all the things they're doing, which half are mistakes and half are good. And it will force you to also put in all their mistakes. And if that is the best you can do, is to be on par with all their on-page factors, then when do you ever have a chance of getting ahead of them? Think about it. If you have all the mistakes that they have on their page, you're equal to them, great. Then that boils down to just purchasing off-page signals at that point. And then he who has more money and he who is just more lucky that they don't break Google's rules in spending exorbitant amounts on backlinks or something like that, that cost thousands of dollars per month to do properly, in many ways, by the way, they win and you lose. There's no way for the smaller guy to get ahead if all you're doing is spending 100 to 20 hours of eyeballing your competitors and by implementing all their mistakes. There's no way for you to get ahead of them. It will be at best, and the best is like a 10% chance, you'll probably be worse. It is at best a 50-50 split between you two. At best. Does that make sense, guys? Like, think of the math. If you're looking at copying everything they did on their own page, and that's your way you're going to do SEO, you do your own page for your own pages, then you're going to incorporate both their mistakes by accident at some frequency and their good things by accident at some frequency. And that means at best you could only match them. You could only meet them halfway. At best you could only tie them. You could never get ahead on OnPage. So our AI does all this for you, saving you 100 hours of work that you never even need to look at or care about. Faster, cheaper, better than all the competitors, and the top method in the industry. The state of the art, which is a joke, the state of the art in the SEO industry is to look at your competitors and make random guesses. And yeah, 5 years ago, that was good enough for 50% to win 50% of the time. It is not good enough anymore. Google has made it way too hard. You will now win 10% of the rankings 10% of the time, the way Google has it. It is not good enough. If it was, I wouldn't have needed to build this piece of software and tore my hair out and gone gray and spent tens of thousands to over $100,000 on this and take on another full-time job when I'm approaching my retirement age, where I'm turning 50 in a week or two. Do you think I want to be working 2 full-time jobs? No. If it was as easy as people thought it was 15 years ago, and still right that it is, I wouldn't have had to do any of this. Is that making sense, guys? If that's making sense, please let me know. I'll also check the tube views here. If that's making sense, anybody watching on the tube views, let me know. Okay, so that's the good news, guys, is that I've freed you from that burden and I've freed you from that mistake. Now I'm going to go through, the reports are all here. You can look at them. And if you're doing surgical SEO, a very top level SEO, Sebastian says makes sense. Awesome. Thank you, Sebastian. Gold star. Thanks for listening. Thanks for interacting. It helps me teach better. A surgical SEO would go through and look at some of these for sure. But what I'm going to do, but most of the time you wouldn't need to look through. Justin says, makes sense to me. You mean I shouldn't stare at pop all day long trying to get my 100 score from my math teacher's test? Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes, yeah. I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm trying not to comment on anyone else's software as much as possible. But no, pop is the last thing you should be using. Okay. So again, after you're done with keyword discovery, you can just run the reports and you can go right here. And when it's done, you can just say, okay, click the AI article. Let's build it up. Let's do the URL title, meta description, and say go. And then you can kind of use the report as like a work screen and go from here. You can put them into projects. You can start classifying, categorizing all them. Be like, hey, these are the drafts for my client. There's another draft for my client. These are the done pages. You can add all that in. And you can select a project, or you can add projects here by clicking Manage Projects. And that way you can separate them out. We're also building a search utility here. This is the staging. We're building a search utility where you can also search them here. That's coming up pretty soon. And then you can click, like I know Ford F-150 was a keyword I wanted to work on. I need to search it out, and you can search it out, and then you can also put it in new projects, or you can change the project for it here as well. That'll be deployed to production by Monday. However, even though, so you never need to look at this. So you should be singing hallelujah. Trust me, after doing this for 30 years, I sing hallelujah every, and I mean a non-sarcastic, non-nihilistic hallelujah. Not Leonard Cohen's hallelujah, but a real hallelujah like that one. Woo, da, 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 da. I sing hallelujah every day. I get to use this tool because it is so much easier than what SEO was before. And so much more consistent and so much more powered. And I get so much more results faster and better than any other time in SEO, except for maybe like 2004 when it was so fucking easy you could do anything. That time is long past. However, that being said, I am going to go actually here into the report, and I want to show you the different things that we build for you. Just really quickly, we build you a rank brain model. It models all of the entities. Now, here's a quick little question. Some people are like, Josh, you forgot to strip out the stop words. Everybody knows that Google doesn't use stop words. No, that information is a good 10 years out of date. That's the way that transformers work, and that's the way that understanding queries work. And Google has publicly admitted that stop words are now important and can make all the difference. For there's some models that don't use stop words. Most of them do, however, because Google uses stop words now. I can prove it to you if you like with a very quick test. Stop words are incredibly important for the search query, and therefore they're incredibly important for the models that we build. So then again, any tool that strips out the stop words, like maybe cough, cough, pop, that would be another reason why you wouldn't want to use them. To my knowledge, anyway, last time I looked, maybe he's included them now, I don't know. People see my ideas and then they copy them. Okay, so we build you a rank brain model here. This is doing a very complex vector embedding of 1,000 pages, tens of thousands of lines of code that a human being could never look at and could never have reverse engineered. You also see what the competitors are using it. Now, this is how the competitors are using it. This is just giving you an idea of how they do it. It doesn't mean you should copy it. They're talking about popping the crypto bubble, this entity, this idea of popping the crypto bubble. Okay, great. BERT stands for bidirectional encoding representation from transformers. That is the OG transformer that started off a lot of the transformer mania, like ChatGPT. The T in both stands for transformer. Generative pre-trained transformer. Ironically, the rest of the world took Google's open source transformer technology and made better transformers than them, and then started to eat their lunch, or at least marketed them better than Google did. That was a case of the old Google being too slow and didn't realize what they had, and ChatGPT marketed it better. But I wouldn't count Google out. They are Geoffrey Hinton, the father of the transformer, worked for Google up until recently, and he took a professorship at University of Toronto, and now he talks about the dangers of AI after he saw how powerful it is and how much it is going to completely revolutionize every industry, and it is and does. This is a revolutionary new advancement in SEO, and you are going to take the jobs of other SEOs who are not using it. So congratulations for you. You're going to win this race because you adopted AI early, and you're using AI, and you're using the right AI tool that has got quality behind it and serious engineering behind it, which I'll talk about in a second. Like these things you can see here. And also, so that's what BERT is. Google uses it to understand query interpretation and query intent, plus these other entities that could be important. These are the ones that could be important based on the ones that are important to your competitors. But here's another and pro tip. between you and me and the Zoom call, they're not using BERT anymore. I just keep calling it BERT because that's what Google has published they use. But between you and me, I think we all know they're probably using their latest language model because that's what a transformer is a type. A language model is an LLM is a type of transformer. And I believe that's the categorization. Transformer is a bigger umbrella, and LLM is a kind of transformer. And their largest BERT was made many years ago, and it's all about the arms race of token connections in a transformer in a language model, as you might have heard about. And PaLM2, PaLM, PaLM2, LM stands for language model. PaLM2 is probably their biggest, baddest language model that Google's using, and probably is actually the one that's being here, but it doesn't matter. It works the same. It's still a transformer. It's still a language model. The AI and the technology I've used to reverse engineer it and give you this data here, this critical on-page data here, is still still the same technology. Just whether it is a little faster or not doesn't matter. And so here's one piece that I just want to brag about for a second and show you guys. But it's important I do because it's so important that you understand it and use it. And it is the age-old thing called query intent. Remember 40 minutes ago I said I would get to this? Query intent. So the SEO industry, some of them think that query intent is a ranking factor. Some of them think that it's not. The shorter answer is, who's correct? The answer is nobody. They're both wrong. It's not actually query intent, although that's what I call it here because that's what everyone calls it. Being technical and being precise, which is very important to do correct SEO, it's actually called query interpretation. That is what it's actually called in another leak, another secret Google leak that we have access to in SEO University from actual search engineers. It's called query interpretation. We have the manual of actually how this works. That's how I was able to reverse engineer it. And how does it work? It literally works like this. And this is going to sound familiar because this has been Google's dream ever since Amit Singhal worked for Google since 2001. He doesn't work for it anymore. He had a sexual assault scandal and he had to resign. But he started off their philosophy, and it's still definitely Amit Sinhal's philosophy at Google. And it's this, that we know better than you do, human. You type in whatever this is, and we literally we interpret your query, and we literally rewrite it in the background to search for this. That's how it works. And that's why it's so important. So your page can't be about this or whatever you think this is. Your page needs to be about this and what Google actually secretly types in and after they interpret your query. And they have a diagram of how this works. They have a manual of how this works. The leak was out in the open for years. I can't believe that people don't know this, but they don't. So it's called query interpretation. I just called it query intent here to keep SEO University secret. And the upshot, however, is that when you want to rank for this keyword, you actually need to try and rank for these keywords, so to speak. When you want to rank for this keyword, you need to change the topic of your page about this. And so you notice when you click the article builder to generate the article, which is already down here, you notice when you click generate article, that's what it uses. It uses the query interpretation as the topic of the article, and that's why I say it's AI assisted. And can you, what if I don't want to write on this topic, Josh? Fine, you can delete it. You can delete this all and type in your own topic here. I suggest you go with this, or you can be like, make sure to give 10 helpful tips. Like you can type in whatever other instructions for the writer in here, just like you were giving a human writing instructions as well. I'll get to that in a second when we get to the article builder. Okay, so no one else has this. We have this. No one else has this. We have this, and it is crucially important. This is the difference. This is another difference between ranking and not ranking, is understanding what people call query intent, but what we call query interpretation, because that's the actual proper name. We try to use the proper Google given name of things in the group to reduce confusion. When people type in crypto bubble, what they actually are looking for, according to Google, is understanding cryptocurrency bubbles and their characteristics, and an analysis of historical crypto bubbles and market behavior. You might have decided to write the page about something different, And so that was very important for you to know and very important for my AI to know. Otherwise, it may not have written on the right topic and guaranteed you some good rankings here. Another thing that the SEO industry thinks about is this, and it's called page type. And the question I have for you is, do you think that page type matters in Google rankings? And the answer is yes, it does, but not in the way that SEO thinks of it. So here's again another thing that you see happens in SEO a lot. In SEO, the data is very complex. And so what we do to make it easy for ourselves, and because we didn't need to do it any better, because it was easy to rank from like 2000 to like 2015, was dead easy to rank. So we didn't really need to do any better. Was we boiled all of the internet, and you're going to realize how arrogant and crazy this is when I say it out loud. We boiled down all the variety of every kind of page on the internet to mostly 5 different page types. There's an e-commerce page, there's a category page, there's a review style page, there's an informational page, and there's a product page or a local services page. We really broke the entirety of all web pages down to 5 different pages. And we'd like, okay, we need to make a review style page here because that's what the competitors have, which was wrong. And it totally depends on what the query interpretation is. And also wrong to assume that what we saw on the front of the page, just because they had reviews and did some kind of review style page, that's what we needed to do too. As you can imagine, for Google, they do track this. Page type is a ranking factor. It is actually a very powerful ranking factor. One of the best ranking factors that SEO University ever single variable tested and ever found. Going deeper in this knowledge that, again, I just have to tell the truth where it is, better than any other group I know, that's for sure. And I have spies in all the groups. I have my little spies in every single major group, especially the testing ones, and especially the Black Hat ones in Black Hat World, and various other ones. I have spies in every group, and I know pretty much what every single group is talking about and what they know. And so I can tell you with a high degree of certainty, nobody else is even close to understanding this. In fact, they're all have become beguiled by another thing here, and that is schema. The other question, is schema a ranking factor? And the answer is no, not as far as I know. Believe it or not, I've never been able to get a signal out of schema. Does Google read schema? 1,000,000% they do. Of course they do. They definitely read the schema. Should you have schema? Maybe. It depends on the situation. Join SEO University and we'll talk about it. But should you just be sticking schema in your pages thinking that it's a ranking factor? The answer is not unless you see it here. Because this is how it actually works. How it actually works is Google, and Google has publicly admitted this using different words I'm about to say. They process the HTML of a page, and what they do is they do machine learning. This is another thing that RankBrain does. They do that also equals your click age probability. This is where half of the click age probability score comes from, is the structure of your HTML and the kind of page you have. Because that is the kind of probability if users are going to like it or not, right? And that's where SEO was kind of right, that if they had a review style page, you might want to have something like that too. But that's where, and so they had it maybe 20% correct, but that's where sadly the truth and common opinion parted ways. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of page you think it is from a ye olde SEO standpoint. What really matters is not only the HTML you're using, but the nestedness of the HTML, right? Google does not rank HTML pages. They rank DOMs. What is the DOM? The DOM stands for Document Object Model. The DOM stands for Document Object Model, and it is the object model that Google renders and constructs out of your web page, right? See the header there? You see body? You see the different tags in there and how they get rendered into an object model? That is what Google, remember the big JavaScript push 10, 15 years ago? And they even had a podcast with that guy with the weird hair from Google. and you talk about making sure they render your JavaScript. They do, and other testing groups have proven this as well, and even done some better testing than we have. And that's one area where they've done some better job. Hat tip to Ted on that one for sure. Ted Kabitis, his group did a really good job on this one. And at least knowing that they render JavaScript and that they render the document object model, which Gary Ilyish from Google and multiple Google employees have fully admitted, so it wasn't a secret. And however, it is a secret that it is a ranking factor. It is a secret that not only are the elements you use, which will end up being objects in this document object model, but the nestedness of the HTML is. Like the section object that's going to be in the main object that is underneath the body object. And not only is that a ranking factor of having that statistically be like everybody else in this niche, the attribute value, the attribute names and the attribute values are also part of the object model. They become properties. This is a property name and a property value in the object model, which and having these exactly machine learned to be in the statistical most used, and not most used, but vector embedded. So it's not just machine learning, it's what the vector embeddings show, what vectors, vector is like a trajectory, right? On a line graph, what vectors towards, which of these objects and properties vector towards ranking number one, and or the thing that users want the most and click the most. What kind of widgets do they want ultimately? This kind of HTML makes a kind of object model that makes these kinds of widgets. And it is these kinds of widgets that Google is looking for. And exactly these kinds of widgets that say stuff like Wikimedia and Happy Customer, that say stuff like ID equals introduction, all the way down to the classes and IDs being used are ranking factors. A very big ranking factor. It's worth 7 or 8 spots. And so that also gets into a little bit something that also gets into schema. It's like, okay, Josh, so why is schema not a ranking factor? Because I have done thousands of these reports. I've yet to see any schema whatsoever in being used by the majority of the pages. People who use schema are like, what, 10% of the internet? The vast, if that, probably 1% of the internet. It's usually like one guy who does SEO or 2 guys who do SEO, right? I've never seen it be ubiquitous, and it's always, you can always implement it in different ways. You can implement it in a script tag. You could implement it in a head tag. There's all these different ways of implementing it. And so I've never seen it be, I've never seen schema HTML vector towards spot number 1, except for maybe stuff like this, like ratings and things of that nature using schema. And so it also ties into another myth in SEO. They're like, is WordPress a ranking factor? Is Wix a ranking factor? And the answer there is no, but yes, it is. It is only to the degree that WordPress stuffs shit into your HTML and that Wix is stuffing shit into your HTML, including attributes and values. So it doesn't mean you actually need to have WordPress, and it doesn't mean that WordPress is actually a ranking factor. But if in the 1,000 pages that come back, in the shard collection that comes back, and my AI looks at tens and thousands of lines of code, more than a human can ever look at. If that is, so this is a huge leak you never will hear anywhere else, guys. This is a huge secret that I'm leaking to you here. If the 1,000 pages back with 10,000s of lines of code that a human could never look at and never have the time, your eyes would bleed, you'd never be able to make sense of the math. But my AI and my program can, and only an AI and a program can. If everybody has these kinds of, if it vectors towards spot number 1 and the highest usage to have this kind of stuff, then this is what you want. And if they have it in their HTML, it doesn't matter if they actually have WordPress. It doesn't matter if they actually are following the ARIA standard, whatever that is. Because I've seen ARIA in here a whole bunch. I didn't even know what ARIA was. It doesn't matter if they actually have Joomla or Drupal or Wix. What matters is what ends up in the HTML here that gets rendered into a document object model because quite frankly, that's all Google looks at and cares about and doesn't know really about anything else. So there's like 5 different SEO myths wrapped up into one giant ranking factor here, which is far more elegant and far more comprehensive. And of course, that's exactly what you would imagine, right? All of our SEO guesses are going to be clunky and are going to be missing a lot of stuff. And the way it actually works, when someone actually takes the time and tremendous amount of money to reverse engineer it and to scientifically test it, as we have in SEO University, we realize, of course, Google is far more sophisticated and elegant than that. They're doing a vector embedding on all the objects in the standard object model, and they're machine learning which ones are the best. Because at the end of the day, HTML is like your genotype, and your design is like your phenotype, right? You guys understand the difference between genotype and phenotype? Your genotype is your underlying genetics, but your phenotype is the way you look based on your genetics. And so they don't actually rank the phenotypes that the SEOs are looking at. They actually rank the genotypes that just happens to correspond with a certain set of features that users can interact with. So that's another major feather in our cap. I'm not even aware of another group that knows this at this level. It's going to save you from 3 or 4 common SEO mistakes using this AI, and it's going to give you huge ranking factors, and it'll guide you into the kind of widgets. That's why I call them HTML widgets. It's going to guide you into the kind of HTML widgets you're going to need to be able to rank for this kind of a query. All right. And so that's the last thing you need to worry about for reports. In the results screen here, we do totally score up all of your different entities. Phrases are entities, words are entities. These are all different kinds of entities. Did you know that different AIs have different kinds of entities? People talk about entities in the SEO industry, not really having any idea what they're talking about. Different AIs have different kind of entities. For some AIs, numbers will be entities. For some AIs, numbers will not be entities. For some AIs, words will be entities. For some AIs, words will not be entities. For some AIs, word pieces will be entities. For some AIs, word pieces will not be entities. For some AIs, phrases will be entities. For some AIs, phrases will not be entities. So they talk about entities like it's one thing, which drives me crazy because it is computer science 101 and AI 101 that they don't understand. But we take all the different ideas of entities, we add them all up, and we score them all here for you and to tell you what to use. Would you write this by hand? No. I would never recommend, and nor is it humanly possible to write a good SEO article by hand. It gone are the days when you're like, just write your article and put the EMQ and the H1 and title and you're good. Ding. Those days are long, long over. You need to worry about all of these entities I just showed here. You need to mention these entities, all of these in the right frequency. Hundreds of entities you need to put in the right frequency. There is no way a human being could ever do this. Is another reason why you're in the right place. SEO Copilot is the right piece of software and you're in the right place. Okay, so after that, but you don't need to worry about any of that. The AI does it for you. After that, you go to Article Builder and you click, or you can click Generate Article from the reports page. You click Generate Article, you use the topics that are suggested, and if you leave this sentence, it will use the HTML widgets that you saw in the reports, or you could paste in your own HTML here that you wanted to use, or you can give it instructions here. Say like, I want you to make a table with nothing but pages. Sorry, I want you to make a page with nothing but tables. I'm getting tired. Or, I want you to not use any tables at all. I want an informational essay on this, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why you would do that. That would rank terribly, but you can do it. You can also give it a custom knowledge base. What is a custom knowledge base? A custom knowledge base is a text file that has simple writing instructions like you would give to a human writer. So you'd be like, use this author profile. It's written by this person. Write about this product. This was for CBD oil for cats. CBD oil for cats. I made up a fictitious product called Ultra Pet TM, and I gave it a fictitious price and a fictitious ratings. And I said, write about this product with these key points, and it did. And use these testimonials. And it used one of these testimonials or part of the testimonial, which is not great. You have to do a little bit of work there. But still, it's better than nothing. And so the claim that, all these other AI tools that just write you a really generic page, it's not good enough. Here's another thing that we're very proud of. Our high quality writing system is a very complex, what's called a chain of thought ideation and a tree of thought ideation, or an agentic AI or agent AI. Have you heard of agentic AI? It is an AI agent. CP is an AI agent that has very complex chain of thought and tree of thought ideations, that has access to databases, repositories, and knowledge that is more than just like a ChatGPT prompt. It's like 50 of them working in conjunction with other AIs in there that have nothing to do with ChatGPT, actually. And it writes you, like a writing team, a very comprehensive, complex article that in many cases can hit a lot of these scores right off the bat. And so that's what you do. You can use all these features, you generate the article. And so the rest of today, I'll talk about the other question that people normally have is, okay, Josh, great. So when I generate the article, I'm good to go? No, I highly recommend you obey our four proprietary SEO scores. I'm like, Josh, why would I want to do 4 SEO scores? As Justin mentioned earlier, Pop only has 1 SEO score. So isn't that better? Shouldn't I go with Pop? The answer is no. No, it's like saying this food testing, this testing food for poison app only tests for one kind of poison, and it's faster. So shouldn't I use this app because it tests for one kind of poison and yours tests for 4 kinds of poison, even though it takes a little longer to use? And the answer is, do you want to be poisoned? Like, obviously no. Obviously the answer is use the tool that they decided they had no choice, and it was so important for your rankings that they had to break it down into 4 scores. That is the easiest that the creators of this software could make it. Don't you think that if I could match all the other piece of crap SEO tools out there that only bring it down to 1 bullshit score, that means almost nothing, that is way easier to sell people on and way easier to get people to use, don't you think that's what we would have done? Like, don't you think that's how I would have made it? No, Josh hates money. Josh hates money and he loves working 2 full-time jobs. So no, obviously, guys, again, I told you, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I call it like I see it. You're going to get nothing but the unvarnished truth from me. I had to make 4 scores because they are vitally important for your success. All I care about is you winning. All I care about is everyone who uses my tool winning. This is attached to my name. I will not allow something attached to my name be a piece of shit. Despite other people who have asked me to do things like this, I will not allow anything attached to my name to be a piece of shit. This is actually going to help you. Does it make it a little more complicated? Yes, but sadly, this is as easy as I can make it so far. Although in the next few months, we are going to be generating a HQA 3.0, and that is going to be an even more mind-bogglingly dizzying, complex piece of software that will be able to produce hopefully 3 scores in the green. The only one that might not be green would be this one, and we might even be able to get that into green too. We'll be able to fix these red scores, which is what happens 98% of the time, 90% of the time. The spam score will still be a little bit difficult, but it's not easy to get it to be written. But we can do it. We've already taken 100 hours of on-page work and brought it down to 20 minutes for you if you're doing carpet bombing, down to an hour if you're doing surgical. That is a 99% improvement. But I'm going to improve it even further. I'm going to make it an 1,000% improvement. And I'm going to bring it down to 2 minutes, where these are all in the green, and you just need to go over this and check it out and make sure it's like the prices in here are the actual prices, or like this is actual, these links actually work. That's the only thing left you'd have to check at the end of the day. And then I'll make an AI that will check that too, and then it'll pretty much be doing everything for you. But it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. Okay. So yeah, so let's get right to this. Again, thanks for hanging in, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I got those gifts, I got the rewards for people hanging in coming up very shortly. So the last question that people ask me, Josh, okay, fine, great, I got it. You've taken all these hundreds of hours of work and thousands of dollars, you brought it down to like 1% of the time and cost it used to be. Thank you very much, perfect. But these scores are really tricky. They piss me off. How do I get these in the green? Okay, this is how you do it. So it really depends on what score exactly is not in the green. But like I said, in 90% of cases, it's usually the semantic score. And the semantic score has to do with the keywords. Remember these entities that we scored for you? It's a very important ranking factor. It's a hugely important ranking factor. You need to make sure that you have the right variance of these entities. Again, something that no human could ever do. You need to make sure you have the right variance of these entities. Not only that, you need to make sure you're saying them in the right spread. You see all those red zeros there? You need to make sure that you're saying these things in the right spread here. Apparently we don't say a crypto bubble enough. So that is the semantic score. The next important score is the predictability length and the spam score. This highly correlates with #1 rankings. I've done, again, I was trained to do science at the professional academic level. As you can imagine, in statistical data correlative analyses or in mass statistical studies, they have a standard mathematical formula which proves that your study is scientifically valid. And we have hundreds of thousands of pages in the system, and we've proven that we are, tens of thousands of pages in the system, and we've proven that we are well beyond the threshold for statistical validity. And this score correlates the strongest with rankings. So this is the first one you should care about. This is the main one you should care about. And this one definitely needs to be in the green. You need to be in the Goldilocks zone. This is right now under-optimized. And believe it or not, being under-optimized is even a worse ranking factor than being over-optimized. In fact, between you and me, you can be as high as 50 on this score and still be fine. Still rank #1, position #1, no problem. So that means I need to add more content. It's a little low. I need to add more keywords. And I need to do so in a way that, however, doesn't trip the spam filters by being too obviously made for SEO. And that takes me to my second most important and second highest statistically correlated score, which is the average predictability length, which is the length of how natural and how exciting your content is versus how low quality and how basic and prosaic it is. And that is also a score of how, whether or not it's probably AI generated. AI generated content in 99% of the time tends to be very prosaic, very business basic, very trendy, low quality writing using, at the end of the day, when we couch our terms, kind of disgusting euphemisms. That is really boring, shitty writing. But it doesn't have to be AI generated. I have seen human writing get way worse scores than AI writing. I have seen human scores that are like 5 or 6 here. And if you're like, what does this score actually mean? The average predictable length, this is the length of words. It's actually not words, it's word pieces, but let's just say go with words. This is the number of words you can have per sentence on average that you are allowed to have that are the exact kind of boring word that a boring writer would have chosen, or that an AI generator, any or all AI generators would string the words together. You're allowed 4 words, 4.2, you're actually allowed 4.13 words on average to rank spot #1. The more you go above 4.13 words on average per sentence that are kind of business basic shit, prosaic writing, whether it's AI generated or not, doesn't matter, is the more you are risking your #1 rankings. This highly correlates with rankings, although not as strongly correlating with rankings as this score. This score is definitely the top ranking score. You definitely need to fix this, and I would address this tremendously as well. And then also that includes the spam score. Now, not only do we have a spam score for the body content, but we have one, you need to worry about over optimization or doing spam in all of these important SEO spots. And again, this is something that no other tool has, right? You need to do it for the URL. You need to have a spam score for the title. You need to have 0%, preferably across the board. You need to have one for meta description. You need to have one for the H1, and you need to check it for the body content. And the spam score for the H1 is the toughest one. That's because that's the most overly spammed SEO spot. So my H1 is a little finicky there, but it is entirely possible to get it down to 0. Okay, so then the question is, okay, Josh, great. And then the last one is heat, the heat score. Heat stands for how helpful it is, how much experience you're showing, how much your expertise is showing in the writing, how much you're speaking authoritatively in the writing, and therefore how much trust Google is going to give you. It is also directly something that's based in your click age probability. In fact, all these scores are directly relevant to your click age probability, except for the spam score. That's more relevant to spam brain and the spam algorithms that Google does have. Do not listen to the SEOs out there who say Google doesn't have any spam score. That's a load of shit. I just showed you, I just proved it to you. They have like 20 different spam AIs that exist. The biggest one and the most notoriety, the one being, what is spam brain? This is Google's major web spam algorithm. They've had it, as you can see here, for a number of years. It's a machine learning AI. It indexes, this is a major one you need to avoid. Okay, so how would it do it? Okay, well, like I said, it really depends. There's an order of operations here. If your spam score is broken, everything else is green, then just mouse over this, read what it says, read between the lines, and do it. It needs to be, spam is like, again, a threshold like this. Spam is a threshold between too little and not enough. Spam is a threshold. Hey guys, I see you watching on YouTube. If you have any questions, please by all means ask. I will be happy to give you as many SEO secrets as I can in the remaining half hour. Again, this is too heavily SEO'd. You're stuffing in the keywords here too many times. That is one way of thinking, and too many places. That's one way of thinking of spammy, and the one way Google definitely tracks spam. The other way they track spam is this side, where you don't mention it enough. You're too vague, you're not on topic, you're not relevant for the keyword. So that's also considered spam. So where do you want to be? You want to be right here. You want to be in this middle ground of saying just enough SEO keywords in just the right variety, in just the right spots. That's where you need to be. If the average predictability is too high, but everything else is green, then what you need to do is you need to check to see where the content seems to be too AI generated. Look for big blocks of text like this and start throwing in weird words in here that that humans normally wouldn't use. Weird ideas, weird acronyms. You can also highlight this and click the down score button. The down score button will bring all of your scores down. So as long as you've got room to grow in the semantic score, you can click the down score button on these big chunks of text. Like this text here, it might as well be a paragraph. This is text altogether. That is the kind of text where it starts to get obviously written by a low quality writer, which could be an AI or not. And last but not least, if the semantic score is too low, then you need to kind of refresh the entire content, and it usually is, and this is the one you need to worry about the most. So the method I'm about to go through kind of applies to all of the different ways you would do this, and it works like this. We need to use the Marvel the Marvel movie method of building a huge jacked man. That's just remember that you need to what they do in these Marvel movies, how they build up a Chris Hemsworth or a Hugh Jackman and get them all the muscles, is they put them on a 6,000 calorie diet for months and weightlifting like crazy. They put on all this mass, and then what they do is they cut it right before filming and they starve them. They put them on a broccoli chicken diet and they can drink nothing but water. And then they even dehydrate them before the filming, so the muscles all pop out. That is the same kind of method we need to take. We need to beef up the content. We need to use the upscore button, or take this and give it to CP and say, add much more content to this. You could do either ways. We need to add, or you can put human writing in here, whatever you want to do. We need to add way more content that has the right entities and words built into it. And we need to build this score up to way beyond the threshold, and build this score up to way beyond the threshold, so that when we and start from the top and go down to the bottom, and then we start cutting from the bottom up to the top by using the upscore and downscore button, or you can ask CP to help as well. And in doing that, we're going to get this all the way over and then back down into the green. And we're going to get this all the way over and back down in the green. That is the best way to do it, and it's not that hard to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so let's do that. Alrighty, so let's go here to the first paragraph. Let's actually go to this first. Let's go to this sentence here. The higher the keywords, and why do we start at the top? Because anyone who knows about the top 100 or the naming spots in SEO, it's long been public that Google looks at keywords at the top of the page and they weigh far more than keywords at the bottom of the page. So that's why I suggest you start at the top of the page. And so the top of the page here is actually this paragraph. So I want to click this and all the scores are going to go up because I'm adding more ideas, more entities, more semantic keywords. But in a pro tip, in order to make this work better, I want to put the word crypto in here. Your comprehensive guide to crypto market dynamics and investment strategies. To understand crypto bubbles, insert top tips at a high level to understand crypto bubbles. Here. You can say that. You can highlight this, and you can say upscore. And hopefully it takes the instructions. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, then we can just give it to CP to write here. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, take this and say, please flesh out and hint at the top tips for this at a very high level intro paragraph. And CP will write it. And so you go, okay, great, thanks. CP takes a couple seconds to write it. CP stands for the copilot. Okay, boom. Here we go. You take this, highlight this, put this here, boom. Great. Now you highlight this again and you say upscore. Now the upscore button is going to stuff even more keywords in there and make it even more chunkier. Now it's chunky. Great. Now you highlight this and you make it upscored. I didn't get that chunky. Let's take this. Let's say, please flesh this out as well with examples or more high-level expert tips. So CP will do this. Takes a couple seconds. This is how to do it very efficiently. I could have just hammered the upscore button on every single sentence as I was going down. That's another way to do it. Why is CP taking so long? The API must be busy. This is hitting a number of APIs. Well, that's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay, boom. Okay. Okay, so it really did give me uh, much more content, which is great. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to say, please remove the sources and format to copy paste into a WYSIWYG editor. So I just wanted to format it. Takes a couple seconds. So this is really going to increase the amount that we're going to have here. So that's going to be good. Boom. Okay, so we take this. Take this. Boom, boom. Replace this with this. Boom. Okay. There we go. Now we've added tons of content in here. Now we're over the word count. Now if I click this, we are magically, now we're in the ratio. Now this is going to go up too because we added more AI content. I'll be very surprised if that didn't go up. Oh wow, it only went up by 0.2. So we really didn't go up that much. You know what? We're done. I'm only 0.1 over this. So if I wanted to go fast and do carpet bombing, this is fine now. This is perfectly fine. This is great. I don't need to change anything else. This score can be a little bit over, but just for the sake of example, let's just keep adding stuff here. Let's highlight this, upscore, replace. Let's highlight this. Let's upscore, place, put the kind of header back it likes to do. Let's copy and paste this. Let's upscore this thing. Replace. Good. Still here. Boom. Okay. And let's just take this. Choo choo. I didn't notice the markdown text. Boom boom. Boom boom. Boom. Let's take psychological factors. Boom. Upscore that. Yeah, good. Bold that. Boom. Take this. Let's take this. Boom, boom. So I like that. Upscore it. Place. And the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Upscore that. Replace. Boom. Okay. Now let's rerun this. Save it. Yeah, we went higher. Let's go a little bit higher now. If we want to get this in the green, we need to go a bit higher. So let's take this. Bitcoin surge 2013. Boom, boom. High score, upscore that. See, we've got a lot more there. Boom, boom. Let's take this. Boom, boom, boom. Upscore this. Get more information for the user. Great. Let's take this. Let's upscore this. Wow. Okay. So that really boosted it up. Let's say, close. Boom. Please strip out the markdown text in this. So it'll strip out all the stars for you. You could have said asterisks as well. CP's here to do your co-pilot, to help you fly the plane when you need to go to the bathroom. So there we go. Replace that with this, and boom. All right, so now let's save it again. Okay, now let's go here and reload this. We should be way higher now. We should be way higher now. We're a little bit higher now. Wow. Yeah, so the AI is doing a good job trying to use writing which is interesting and non-business basic. So that's fantastic. So we went down to here. Now what you do, now we take this to get it back into where we want it. Now we go and downscore it. Now that we're too chunky, now we need to cut weight. Now we're going to reduce that, replace, going to reduce this, downscore it. The downscore writer is a very excellent human level quality marketing writer using much more exciting writing styles. Let's save this. Let's see how much we went down here and here. Yeah, we're almost in the right area we want to be in. Downscore this. Oh, yeah, we've already fixed that. Replace. Highlight this. Downscore. And replace. Great. Save it again. I bet you we're pretty close. No, we're still at 52. Now, 52 is only 4 over this. It's probably fine. It's better to be over optimized than under. But I just want to show you how you can get things in the green. People are like, I can never get it in the green. And you can. You just need to work at it a bit. Downscore this. Replace. Save it. Rerun this. Yeah, we're 2 over. This could be fine now. But again, I want to show you how to get it down into the green. Downscore this. Replace. Save. Rerun. Still at 50. Okay, so that's a great example. So now we've got it in the green here. The heat score is still going to be in the green because we added more helpful content. So I'd be very surprised if it went down to the red. So that's fine. That's fine now. Now we'll run the spam score, but we're still 2 over. Now again, I could just run with this. 2 over is not a problem between you and me. But let's say you want to make sure you get it in the green. Well, here's the reason why, because we're way over the word count, right? So what we need to do is we need to come down here and get rid of like this stuff here. Now, before you do that, you want to save it and you want to be like, okay, remember what are the things we're supposed to have in here? Okay, we need ratings. If I recall correctly, when I looked at the computational widgets, yeah, we had ratings. So we didn't have any of these. We need testimonials, but you need real testimonials. You cannot use fake AI testimonials. Not a lawyer, I can't give legal advice, but if I recall, and I don't know if the FTC even exists in the United States anymore, but if they do, and if they're still prosecuting, the FTC made it illegal last year to have AI generated testimonials. So you definitely need to have your own real testimonials. So make sure, and for Google, they need to be complete. You can't take a part of a testimonial. And so you need to take your Yelp testimonials or your GMB testimonials. You need to take them in full, and then you need to link back to where you got them from to prove to Google that they're real. That's what I would recommend. Do not use AI-generated testimonials. So we have tables. That's great. We could use some ratings and visit the exchange, but that's not what this page is supposed to be about. So we're like, okay, fine. Even though that's what the competitors have. The competitors have this kind of thing. So we can put it in there. You can decide. You can make a human-level decision there. So what I'm going to do, oh, look, crypto bubble is being used. Look at that. We have to be careful. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the additional resources, but I'm going to leave the cryptocurrency insights, and I'm going to get away the, I'm going to get rid of this thing in the middle. It's stuck in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the HTML here, clean this up. Drives me crazy. Foo. Foo. Nope. Foo bar. How about that? Go in here. Go to foo bar. There we go. Okay. So we got a footer tag in here. That's weird. Footer icons. Foo bar. You see how it's using the actual, there we go. That's probably good enough. Save, boom. Okay, I'm gonna go down here and I'm also gonna get rid of this because we kind of have that duplicated. So we have that information there, good. Let's go up to here, let's see, did I remove enough here? There we go, perfect, green, green, green. Okay, so that's how I got all those in the green. You can see it was not that difficult to do. I had some redundant information. That's fine, as long as you say it differently. Let's see, there's a question here. Okay, these guys. Justin says great stuff. Glad you liked it, Justin. Okay, so how do we get the spam score down? So the spam score is kind of the bane of a lot of people's existence, but guys, it really is important. It really is important. So we got 0% here, great. We got 0% for the title. We have 0% for the meta description, great. What we have here is the H1 is going to be not on topic enough. So look what it says. It says the H1 does not repeat the EMQ crypto bubble or close variation, which is good. So read between the lines there, guys. However, it does not directly address the query intent related to the crypto bubble. The phrase price fluctuations in digital currencies is a broader topic and does not specifically relate to the concept of a bubble in crypto, which typically implies overvaluation and potential risk of collapse. The lack of specificity regarding the inquiry makes it less effective. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ways you can fix this. One, I can go here, I can go down here, I can say, please fix my H1 with these suggestions without saying this exact phrase, crypto bubble. So CP can maybe give you a good idea here. There could be some good suggestions that CP comes up with. So it's like, navigating the volatility of crypto markets, insights on investment risks. Yeah, some of these could be great. So let's try this one here. Because we're saying cryptocurrency in there, that's good. We probably want at least one kind of PMQ in the, here. Let's go, boom. Navigating the volatility of cryptocurrency market, insights on investment risks. Insights on investment risks and the bubbles. So that is even closer. We have cryptocurrency and bubbles. They're nowhere near each other. That makes a better keyword stuffing. That's, I hope, a little, just enough, not too much. So let's rerun the spam score, see if the H1 spam score likes it. Now, it also depends on, okay, how stringent do you want to get? Is this a new site? It does get close. The phrase navigating the volatility is informative. However, the inclusion of insights on the bubbles can be perceived as a bit sensational, also pointing towards the potential of promotional angle. Yeah, I don't care about that. So if that is what it's complaining about, that it's promotional, then I don't give a fuck. Fine. Thank you, AI. Being a little bit promotional is not necessarily a problem. The quotations, maybe doesn't like the quotations. Fine, well, I can remove those. Another thing we can do here, sometimes it'll be okay with that. If that's just what it was complaining about, then we can fix that. Another thing we can do here is we can click generate article and we can say, okay, understanding cryptocurrency bubbles and their characteristics. If I say cryptocurrency bubbles together, however, that is way too close to the EMQ crypto bubbles, right? So I don't want to say that there. There we go, 40%. Fine, this is fine. We don't say crypto bubble word for word, which is a positive aspect. It avoids aggressive SEO tactics. You see, it's saving you from doing too aggressive SEO, but it's also saving you from being too vague or too far afield. So that is good there. Now, the only thing left here is the 30% body score. So let's read it and see if it's problematic. It says the content discusses price fluctuations in the cryptocurrency space, which is relevant to the topic. However, it does not contain any potential spam if obviously inserted. So it does not contain any of the potentially spammy, if obviously arbitrary inserted keywords. You guys got to read between the lines with this, right? I wrote this AI in a certain way on purpose to save you from like 10 different mistakes that I teach in SEO University that I don't want to make public here because people pay money for that. People pay money to be part of the mastermind group, the mentorship group. Obviously, they'd be pissed off if I start giving away all the secrets for free. In their minds, I've already given away too many secrets in how I've made the app. So that's a good news for you guys. You benefit from it. The repetition of the phrase understanding price fluctuations in digital currencies at the beginning is unnecessary and could be perceived as keyword stuffing. Again, I ignore you. It's all in the green anyway. It's 30%. You're under your competitors at 46%. That's fine. If that's what you're complaining about in here, I don't care. I like this here. This is perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine. It's not redundant. Humans like that. This is good. Everything's green. We're done. Boom. Done. This is as far as I would go for carpet bombing. I wouldn't go any further. Of course, is this all of the on-page factors? No. You'll notice that there's no image in here. Oh, we do say the EMQ here once. We need to go here and look at these other things here. How many times do our competitors say it? Crypto bubble, they say 2565 times. Great. Then our saying it twice is probably fine in the body. Their average is 2.71. That's great. The URL is fine. Title tag is fine. Meta description, fine. We have it, but so do they. That's fine. We're not saying it, however, in 71% match in the H1. That might be a little high, but that's what my H1 spam AI told you about. It warned you about this exact number. Are we missing any spread keywords? Nope. We've put in all the words. They get put in there automatically by the AI by writing it. So we're good. This is it. We can now copy and paste that into WordPress and get ready to go. Justin says, is it ready to pop? It's ready to pop up in rankings, yes. If that's what I'll take you to mean. All right, so that's great. So this is done. I can move on with this. I can now put this in a project. I can create a new project and say, okay, crypto done, and I can move forward with that. And then later on, I can check out the pages we've done. I could also look at. I could also make sure that in crypto done for this page that we've generated, we could also track the positioning for this. We could track the rankings. So I can include a URL to track, and we track the rankings in here as well. So you can also use this as a free rank checker for your campaigns, and the bigger your subscription per month, the more you're able to track, and the longer the data will last in the system. All right, guys. So that is that's the tutorial. That's what I wanted to cover today. It takes you from zero to hero in how to do on-page. It takes you from choosing the right keywords and the right searches to try to rank for to begin with, which is crucially important to ranking, to saving you 99% of your time and money on competitor research, and does it at a higher level, a more high quality level than any other SEO school out there have thought, and builds you human level high quality content. It does hundreds of hours of work in about an hour to 20 minutes, depending on if you're doing how much time you're spending, whether you want to go in here and to the report we were just doing, and whether you want to start putting images in here and start doing stuff like that, which to learn more about that, I would join SEO University. Speaking of which, I promised you guys that there would be a free gift for you. So here's the free gift. I'm going to offer you guys a special offer to get into SEO University. 10, 11 years ago when SEO University started, this group here that has these leaks and has all this information in it, it was $500 a month to start with this, to get these kinds of wins. I'm now doing this group an access to just our community access, just to stay in the loop of the information and just to see how good all of our ranking tips are. Getting a 4-spot boost, a 30-spot boost, 37 to 7, that's pretty good. Is only $44 a month. You can get access to our SEO University community group, and you can join live meetings for only $44 a month. So that is a pretty big discount from the $500 a month of where it started out. You can recover rankings as well. So if you're interested, please email me. Let me make a notepad here. If I was a sales professional, get the $44 per month discount on SEO U. Email me at joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Email now. So here we go like that. Oh, there we go. So email me now at joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Mention the discount. mention the 44 per month discount. And that's a good way to get your foot in the door. I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. $44 is less than a dinner out. For less than a dinner out, for two people, or a dinner out for yourself with booze, because alcohol really ramps the bill up, right? For less than a dinner out, you can get access to one of the longest running, most secretive, most chic, most scientific, most professional SEO groups that exists. And you wouldn't just join for getting the single variable testing that we've been doing and the secrets that we've been doing. That I've just shown you the tip of the iceberg here from the SEO leaks and the Google leaks that we know of and the SEO testing we've done. You're also joining a vibrant community that can help you. We have probably combined anywhere from 50 to 100 years of SEO experience between all of us. We make well over $1 to $2 million a year doing SEO, all of us put together. We are highly professional and we do every kind of SEO. If you want a career in SEO, or if you want a career that uses SEO, join SEO University and you're going to see the SEOU difference, which I think you're going to be amazed. I have dozens and dozens of comments from people who are like, wow, Josh, I thought this would be just another SEO course with rehashed PBN, how to do PBN PDFs from 15 years ago. Holy shit, it's nothing like that. It's insane. It has ranking factors I've never even heard of. And they work. Look at my ranking boosts. That's the experience you're going to have when you join. So send me an email, guys. I don't know how long I'll be running this promo. Send me an email, mention the 44 per month discount, and get into the group. I hope that you take advantage of this. It is highly worth it. And now, as promised, for the last 7 minutes, what questions you guys got? What questions do you have? Ask me anything. Ask me any SEO questions. I'm going to give you as many secrets as I can in the time that I've got. Again, you'll get nothing but the truth from me. So if you've always wondered, is this a ranking factor? Is that a ranking factor? Or how does this work? Or how does that work? I'm going to tell you. I may not be able to get into too much detail because it may take too long, but I will definitely give you a truthful answer. And we've tested just about everything. So fire the questions, guys. Anybody here there's a bunch of people here in the Zoom, or people watching on the YouTube. Fire in your questions. Justin asks, any thought on JPEG versus WebP? Great question, Justin. Would you believe that WebPs, which is supposed to be the internet standard, ranked, we tested this, of course, ranked far worse than JPEGs. There's a certain, we have a whole course on how to do image manipulation for ranking boosts for both local rankings and for global rankings. And that's just one of the secrets, little tidbits you'll learn in there. If you can avoid WebPs, do, because they don't actually, for some reason, they didn't rank anywhere near as well as pages that had JPEGs or PNGs on them, for example. What else you got? That's a great question. That's a great question. Let me give you some thumbs up here. Sebastian asks, is JPEG the best and PNG is the second best? I don't remember exactly the order. It was a couple of years ago we tested it. JPEG was the best, if I recall correctly, but you do need to watch out for file sizes. That doesn't mean you could just upload a 20 meg JPEG and be like, that's what Josh said. There's other considerations there. So definitely check out the test results channel. You need to be looking at the test results channel, my friend, and going back and reading, searching for the image recs. The recs are RECS, the recommendations, we call them the recs. Sebastian, because I know you're in the group, go to test results and find that information. Justin says PNG is not a winner. He doesn't like PNG. PNG is not his friend. What other questions you guys got? Come on, fire away. Ask me anything. I meant it. Go for it. Ask me anything. Let me see if in the tube views. What do you guys have to ask me on the tube views? Any questions here, guys? There's 9 people watching here. Hi guys, how you doing? Ask me any questions that you guys have. Fire away. Fire away the questions, my friends, on the tube views. What do you want to know? What crazy things will Josh say? Josh will say anything that he thinks is true. And Justin says, any easy ways to add copy from page builders? I'm not sure what you mean, Justin. How do you add copy from a page builder? You copy and paste it in. Like, I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not a WordPress expert. Justin says just copy and paste all copy and images from live page. Yes, that's fine. But again, that question is a tricky question, Justin, because what you're really asking is what are all the other rules of on-page optimization, to which we have like 50 other recommendations there of what to do, probably if you counted them all. That might apply to your situation of this tag and use this tag and don't use this tag and make sure you don't stuff a keyword there, but you want to put a keyword here, of all those kinds of on-page rules that change year to year that Google changes. So yes, you can just copy and paste from a page builder, but in order to get ranking boosts like our students do, you're going to have to read the recs and learn a bit more about how things work. If you just copy and paste from a page builder, you could copy in a bunch of mistakes. You could also copy in a bunch of good things. Like if you copied and pasted from here, you'd be copying in a bunch of good things. All right, guys, what other questions you got? Ask me the questions. Fire away. You got me for 2 more minutes. What more secrets can you learn in 2 minutes? Fire away, guys. There's 7 folks watching here on our 8 folks watching here on the TubeViews. Darren, if you're not a member of SEO University, you probably want to join, because to try to rank for SEO Manchester or try to run an SEO company, there's a lot more concerns that are just like, well, Josh, it said it was easy in your tool. There's a lot more concerns than that I'd love to help you with. So please join SEO University, take the promo. I would highly recommend you take on this promo. And I'm going to run a course maybe this coming Thursday. I'll do it. Or we have another big test this coming Thursday as well that I just ran with some really important ranking changes from the last spam updates. Maybe I'll do that on Monday. We have a weekly Monday course where I show you the latest and greatest what's going on, show you the testing, show you what's going on, talk about stuff. And then we have once a month, we have an SEO 101, the last Thursday of the month, where I do something special. So I might do one or the other for one, but definitely join, because I'll be doing that soon. Because Sebastian also was asking about that in the group, and I know a lot of people are trying to get into SEO now, and so it's a little more difficult than just, oh, it looks like it's an easy keyword. My 5-page site will rank great for SEO Manchester. The answer is no. SEO is highly competitive. For example, one thing my tool doesn't take into account, when it gives you these difficulty ratings, it's not lying. And it's not wrong. This is the difficulty from the snapshot of when I took it. It doesn't take into account the fact that there are 100 other people in Manchester trying to rank for SEO Manchester who have half an idea of know what they're doing and are going to change the landscape much faster than you expect and are generating content and doing things. And if they've been there for any length of time, have a better idea and know what they're doing. So it's going to be harder to compete for that just because it's of the nature of that niche. So again, I'd have to change my AI to take harder niches a bit more into account. That's actually a great idea. Actually, hold on. Let me make a note for myself here. I should do that. Let me change the AI. Add another AI factor to gauge difficulty based on the niche. Example, overly SEO'd niches might be harder, like SEO Manchester. That might not be true though. It could make it easier to rank for SEO Manchester because everyone over-optimized and now there's these huge holes that you could take advantage of, right? So that might be a really, really good thing for you. So join us at University, because I'm probably going to do a specific course just on that. I already have courses on that. We already have courses on how to be an SEO, how to find clients, how to sell clients. Here is some of our knowledge in the drive. This is our tier 2 access. We have must-watch videos. We have a sales masterclass. For example, let's sort by this. We have an SEO sales masterclass on how to sell. I did a deep dive on all the science of how to sell. We have a 4-part series that is insane, using scientific methods to sell that I guarantee you've never heard of, to improve your sales techniques, whether you're selling SEO or not. We have links. We have Your Money, Your Life. We have product stuff. We have intro courses. We have a knowledge graph testing, entity testing. We have local versus global. We have mid-journey images. Do they help you rank? AI author bylines. We have all kind of traffic. Does this traffic help you rank? Speed, internal links, site structure, technical orientation, total ranking factors. We have everything you could ever have wanted to know in SEO and more. We have thousands of hours of courses, actually more than you could ever watch. That's just the curated courses that I suggest you start with. So we have you covered. For anything you want to know in SEO, we have you covered. All right, guys. Well, it's past 1 o'clock. I don't see any more questions in the tube views. So that's it, guys. So again, thanks very much for listening and watching. Make sure to email me to get this discount to SEO University and to at least tier 1 access. You could even get higher. The price for tier 2 access is not that much higher. It's a great investment. It's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Get in here. Get in here and see what we know. You will not be disappointed to learn these things. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, fire them away. Ask me anything over email. I don't mind at all answering any questions over email. Email me any SEO questions you have, like, Josh, I did this and this happened, why? Or Josh, I want to get in this kind of SEO, should I do it? I've been doing this for 30 years, guys. I know the answer to every single SEO question. Depressingly, in my life, my brain is filled with all these SEO facts. And so I will tell you, I'll tell you how to do it. I can give you that SEO career you want, and I can give you the SEO success you want. I'd be happy to do so. It would be my honor to do so. So email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com and ask for the discount to get into the group, or just ask me any SEO question. I'd be more than happy to help. Make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTubes, and make sure you forward this out to people that you know want to get into SEO. Forward it into SEO groups that need a bit of a wake-up call when it comes to how SEO actually works. Don't worry if they start slagging me off. I'm used to it. I'm autistic, and so people slag me off all the time. I wear my heart on my sleeve. But if they say they hate me, say why. Do like the traitors. Don't be like the faithful and the traitors who are like, oh, I don't like you, I'm going to vote you out. Ask them why. Why don't you like Josh? Well, he's arrogant. No, I'm not. I'm just telling the truth. Well, I saw he slapped a goat in the face one day. No, I didn't. Ask him for the proof. Like there's actually nothing really wrong about me out there. They just don't like me because they just don't like me. Well, that's fine. But I have the SEO knowledge you need. My group can definitely help you. And anybody who did anything interesting in history or has knowledge is usually hated by the group that they're calling out who's doing a bad job. So sorry, that's the way that it is. So email me, guys, and I'd be happy to shoot the shit with you. I can tell you the secrets of SEO like you've never heard. Google conversations I've had, secrets you wouldn't believe. And I can also help you win at SEO to boot. All right, guys, so thanks very much for listening and watching. Hopefully we'll be doing another free course next week. We definitely have another course in SEO University this Monday and Thursday. So join SEO University quick if you want to take advantage of that. And good luck in the SERPs, guys. You can win and you will win. Make sure you follow my tactics. Make sure you check for the right niches to begin with.